My name is Saurav. I'm the founder and CEO of Learn and Build. Learn and Build is the learning and placement company where we are trying to provide one single platform where you can learn and get your placements. So in placements, we have internship opportunities. We have tied up with a couple of companies, big giants where you can get interned. Also along the side, you can get very good project experiences with Learn and Build. So you can learn here, you can get your internships, you can get your placements here from Learn and Build. And today we have a couple of speakers from various different giants. So the first speaker that I'm going to announce and welcome here is Rohit Ranjan. Again, a bit of introduction about him. He is from Google, and the topic that we have chosen to give him so that you can get more clarity is the pathway to Google. So what could be the right pathway means the step-by-step journey to clear such interviews so that one should be able to get or crack the interviews and get the job in Google. Not only Google, it could be similar to other organization also. So I welcome Rohit. You please try to turn on the camera if possible, please. And you please speak up about your journey so far, about your experiences so far, and your mindset when once you were preparing for Google, and how you have got the guidance, what you were maybe initially you must have faced a lot of challenges, whether you must have things in mind, how you have thought of getting into Google, even only Google, why the first option was Google. Couple of other options could be also there. Facebook is also there. Mang, people are mad about. So why you had a first choice of getting into Google, and how you have prepared your mind into what were the challenges that you have faced, and what were the steps that you have followed to get crack the interview, also getting into Google. So I welcome Rohit for the first speaker of this workshop today. I hope Rohit, you are there, and you are listening me, and you'll be able to listen and carry on now.
Yes, thank you, sir, for welcoming to the workshop. Am I audible, sir?
Yeah, definitely you are audible, and warm welcome to this workshop. And I'm sure a lot of students are going to be benefited about after listening your journey so far going into Google.
Yes, sir. As I'm Ranjan Sharma, and I'm a security engineer. And security teams across Google Clouds and search engines to make sure that they are running properly and reliable. If any service or product goes down, we work to fix it immediately.
Right. So you being a security expert on Google search engine, you have a lot of responsibility. Okay, great.
Yes, sir. And my journey starts from I'm not a good engineer, or I'm just an average student. Like I got 58% in my 10th and 59% in 12th. Wow. I'm not like just from toppers and all. I'm just an average student.
Wow.
And
so inspiring for many students here, whoever will be listening up today. I'm sure it will be inspiring.
Yes, sir. And to prepare for the Google, you should work on different platforms of coding platforms, and do mock interviews to practice like Lead Code, CodeChamp, CodeWars, and HackerOne. And for security reasons, you should prepare for the security and should do 2 to 3 cybersecurity certifications and all. And remember to also be curious to ask and clarification. So it could be a discussion rather than a one-sided for the interview processes. And you should remember for the Google, when you are interviewing for the Google, expertise and experience in writing well-structured program. And Google wants to hire you. You should have you should have to focus on that particular exams and all. And my journey starts from when I was in my second year. I got lockdown and all. Then I got time to prepare for the securities and reasons. Then I learned securities and all, like finding vulnerabilities on companies and submitting them. That's all, sir.
So, my first question from all of the viewer side would be whether how have you thought of like it? I mean, sure, your lockdown period would be quite good. It turned out to be good for you basically in terms of getting into Google. So, why you have thought of getting into Google only, and maybe there were other companies whom you were preparing for?
No, no, I didn't prepare for any company, not for Google also. I just
So,
preparing for my securities and all.
okay, so you were just preparing for security
Securities,
domain,
yeah.
and so how you have got the opportunity and how you have cracked it out? How many interviews round were there? Can we get to know about that particular part,
Yes.
please, Pradeep?
For that, I find bugs, I find vulnerabilities on Google and submit them. And I think 0 day bug on Google, and I submit them. And after 1 month, they send me the report that the vulnerability is valid. And then they give me some task to complete. Then I take some 2 to 3 weeks to complete the task and submit them the report. Then there are 2 interviews for me that are very enjoyable, and I learn a lot of things from there.
Okay, so these so after your somehow a vulnerability which you have found out on different platform on Google, right? You might have given them the report, and
Yes.
did you pass those vulnerability also, or did they ask you to pass them up?
No, no, they didn't ask me because they have many developers.
Right,
They have very experienced developers.
right,
At
right, right,
that time, I was just a security engineer, security researcher.
right. What about those two interviews? Like, what was the first interview? How long that interview was? Uh, and similar to the second one.
My first interview was in half an hour, and they asked me about DSA and some security questions.
Okay,
And you should prepare for the core and advanced DSA
right.
for the interviews.
Okay, so DSA was the key aspect of that particular
Yes,
interview.
key
And
aspects.
how many problem statement have been given to you basically to solve in that half an hour?
And there are at least 2 questions from the advanced DSA to
Okay,
make an algorithm to run that program and scripts and all.
okay, okay. And so you were able to solve both of them and going into the next round.
I clear only 1 question, and second is my running on that, and that time is out.
Okay, okay. So one question was enough to get into the
Yes,
next round basically.
yes, sir.
So
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 if the format is good, then they will ask you more questions.
okay. And how, I mean, when you have got to know that you'll be getting your second round basically again upon next thing
I got from after at least 1 week.
after 1 week. Okay.
Yes.
And how many days that you have taken? I mean, did you prepare for the next round? You were sure that you will be going into next round?
Yes, I was sure that I will go to the next round because I have thought that I have created a script that they want.
Okay. And what was that second round was about? Basically, what you have done in that? What they did ask? Kind of different question then.
Second round was my salary and all.
Oh, so it was more of a fun and HR round.
Yes, sir.
So
That was
I
my
should
HR
not
round.
ask. I should not ask about your salary as of now here,
Yes, sir.
but still, I'm sure it must have been an enjoyable journey so far with Google. So
Yes,
first
sir.
interview, first thing, concentrated upon one single fact, and meanwhile, you turned your maybe negatives, your lockdown into one of the
Yes,
great
sir.
opportunities. Okay, so what is your role basically in Google? What you are doing there, and in detail, if you can let them about.
In Google, I'm a security engineer and I work on privacy and security services.
Right.
Like
So
if any service goes down or product goes down, We work to fix it immediately.
Okay. So you are working under Google India.
No, no, sir. Google Self-Assessment Channel.
Okay. 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 So, so how big your team is, and so how's the culture inside the Google? I'm sure people will be quite excited about to get to know about it.
Yes, sir. And my team is about like 20 to 25 people. They are all from like Europe, Ukraine, Russia, and from the world.
Okay.
And
And then how's the culture inside? So all they are supportive. How they
they are
do
very supportive, sir.
do leg pulling also inside.
No, no, sir. These things are written there because they are company policies and all.
Right. So what is your now next step into Google? Getting into Google on the next steps, or maybe because you were security analyst. So how you have turned down from analyst to or researcher to maybe engineer position?
Yes, sir. And about that time, when I was analyst, I just do like reports and all. And when from working it for 1 year, reporting them to my email that is changing in Japanese. So
Right.
I report them and they ask me to transfer me to the security engineer role.
Okay. So, Rohit, I have heard couple of times from various different people giving interviews in companies like somehow DSA. Then, apart from technical skills, whatever that they used to go, somehow communication plays a very important role. So, how important that was for getting into Google, basically for you?
Communication is not that like important to have all. You just have to understand what the person is trying to say.
Right. So, basic communication will also be good enough for
Yes,
getting into okay. So do you see like whether this could be, I mean, what could be the pathway to Google in short, like getting into different position in fact, or maybe for any other company? Would it be same for other companies also, or would it be different from every different different company, different position in the Google itself?
like the DSA is an important part, and you should learn two programming languages and all.
Right.
You should prepare for the DSA and programming.
Right. So followed by in this workshop itself, we thought of somehow giving some, introduction, maybe a bit of clarity about DSA, that what should be learned inside DSA, what could be the, I mean, how many algorithms should somebody learn basically in DSA. So maybe there are a couple of speakers who will be talking about it. So DSA is one thing. So which programming language that you were writing codes? Which programming language?
I'm writing Python and JavaScript.
So okay, so both of them are world number one and second language basically right now uh, in IT industry, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So one particular advice from your side, if you like to give it to the viewers here in this workshop. So what will be the one particular advice, key advice from you you would like to give?
Yes, failure is a part of the journey,
Hmm.
and you should make mistakes to get better.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
In fact, you will probably learn so much from a time you fail.
Right.
Then you succeed.
So फेलियर से डरना नहीं है,
And
मतलब बिंदास आगे बढ़ना है, ये वाली
बिल्कुल
बात. Hmm.
यस सर बिल्कुल आगे बढ़ना है सर फेलियर से करना नहीं है यू विल लर्न a lot of things from the failure.
Great, Rohit. I'm sure many people must have got inspired while listening you about couple of things. The first very important part was even not from IIT, not from NIT, from one big a tier one college background. Even though turning your even everybody was quite tensed during this lockdown period. You turned your uh, turned your holidays into opportunity, learn DSA, and maybe your madness about security that has turned, I mean, passion behind getting into one particular domain. You didn't prepare for any particular interview, you got the opportunity, and you cracked it out. So inspiring for many learners. I'm sure they must have inspired while listening you. They'll be also, I mean, even communication will not play much bigger role as far as the key aspect of technical jobs are concerned. I'm sure this would be quite beneficial, and in future also, definitely, if anybody of them would like to connect with you, would ask you for connecting with Learn and Build student once again, right? So let me just check whether if anybody has any question for Rohit, would definitely like to ask.
Sure, sir.
So anybody, right? If you have any question, please let me know. Try to write down in the chat box. I'll try to check it out, and I'll ask from Rohit here. Yeah. So I hope Rohit, you are there, right? So one question, and very good question, is there. So they're asking what kind of skill set that you had before, and after joining Google, what kind of skill set that you have improved. So what was the improvement in before joining the Google and after joining Google?
So at that time, I was like very my position was on like 1099 and all. And when I go there, I learned so much skills like Linux, advanced Linux,
Okay.
and advanced hacking tricks. Like how can we help other person and how can we protect the other person.
Right. So will you be able to save somebody, or maybe some students are going to ask you hacking, their girlfriend's account? Will it be possible from your side to help them out?
I got a lot of messages on Instagram. Like sir, hack that sir. I requirement.
Correct. No, no, just joking apart. I'm sure before joining Google, one thing that somebody, I mean, we used not to be basically more professional and get more professional once we join the team and get the culture inside. So I'm sure that must have been the another improvement apart from the key technical skills, maybe into Linux or advanced, advanced Linux. So you did certification also in security.
Yes sir.
Okay, so did those certification help you out getting into? I mean, maybe creating a pressure on them to just select
Yeah,
you.
yes sir. Like I have two senior certified ethical hacking and CISS.
Okay, okay. So one of another student of Learn and Build, or maybe Techinist, he is into Autopol. Also, have been through into the same journey. He's a security expert there, working on one big projects. So Autopol and maybe Palo Alto and your
Yes sir.
Palo
I
Alto
have
and
got there.
Autopol is the Jaipur-based company. So Palo Alto as well as Google both are rivalry to each other, maybe the competitors to each other, but somehow great companies altogether.
He said
And
there are a lot of companies that are far better from the Google.
right, right. So somehow you have cracked the very good platform. We wish you luck. Getting into big positions and inspiring. I mean, keep inspiring the learners in future also. Thank you so much, Rohit, for joining us today and taking out some good time and explaining your thoughts. बिंदास तरीके से बिल्कुल बोलने के लिए thank you so much for joining us today, and I'm sure it'll be quite good, quite helpful for the learners also. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
So, guys, I'm sure you must have been, a clarity with basically how things happens once you have even good fortune, and that fortune helps you once you have great efforts, even the preparation behind. So, from Rohit, I'm sure you must have learned something. We have another speaker, the next speaker, uh, upon the one another very big topic that everybody of you must be interested, whether how to get a highest paying job, and what could be the technology right now, or maybe in next couple of years, that you'll be able to you'll be able to use, or you'll be able to work with, so that you'll be able to get highest paying jobs in the world, right? So which are the technologies, and which are those companies where you will be able to get it through. This will be the topic for the next speaker. So the speaker is Mr. Himanshu Mishra. He has been into the journey from past couple of years. Another tech geek. He's from Chandigarh. He was from Chandigarh University. He was an intern at different positions, and got got a software engineering job at Volkswagen Group. Basically, he was working there, on different set of solutions. Then switched into another company, and currently he is working with Mastercard. So I'm sure the kind of switch, or maybe the steps that he has taken, uh, being an engineer from an intern to SD. Currently, he's working as a software development engineer at Mastercard. So what sort of mindset that he has before joining any first company, going into internship, then switching into the another job, and getting it through getting it through interviews, how he was able to clear the interviews, how many interviews has he been given, was it simple, was it tough, and how exactly he had things in mind, basically, while clearing these kind of interviews. And would definitely like to ask couple of things. So welcome, Himanshu. You are another one big champ of ours. I'm sure I'm very happy to have you here. You are one of our alumni, and we are happy that you are one of the another proud person, an intern, and alumni of Techinist, where we see you growing in this factor, working with Mastercard currently. So people are I'm sure, including me, in fact, once I used to meet with people, they used to ask whether कौन सी टेक्नोलॉजी पढ़े कौन सी ऐसी टेक्नोलॉजी है जो आज से लेके अगले 10 साल 20 साल 50 साल तक हमें ग्रोथ दे सकती है, how much growth that we can expect from that technology. So this is your topic, but definitely would like to ask you to start with your journey so far, so that people should be inspiring listening you, how you have started your career so far, and made it through. So you are on mute, Himanshu.
Hello, am I audible, sir?
Yeah, perfectly audible.
So first, I would like to quote that I'm a student of Saurabh sir only, and it's it's really amazing to share a stage with him. So really amazing feeling for me right now. So yeah, first I would take few minutes to introduce myself. My name is Himanshu Mishra, currently working as SD at Mastercard. Also work for Volkswagen Group as data scientist. So I have total 1.8 year of experience. Also did some internship with JP Morgan and Cognizant during my college time. So yeah, that's short and sweet introduction about me.
I know this is amazing, man. I mean, sharing stage with you right now, it's even more proudly for me, basically, in all the respect. So the topic that you have basically to clear at least doubt for students is, which are the technologies currently, like there are multiple, and every year they are. I mean, we are amazed to see, like chat GPT is quite popular now currently. So number of things are coming up. So which of the technology that somebody should focus in technical skills in IT industries, at least, so that at least their growth career should be on, or growth rate should be or could be a little better every time.
So I just not talk out too far that what will happen after 5 years or after 10 years. Let's talk about immediate future. That what would be happen in around after 2 years, after 3 years, because nothing is fixed in IT sector. Technology change very rapidly inside the IT sector. So let's talk about what are the technology which are on the boom during 2-3 years from right now. So according to me, there is a huge demand of full stack developer in the market. So Full stack developer knows front end, back end, and database too. So they can create application from start to finish. That's why they are very valuable to have within an organization. So the first technology that I would quote is full stack developer. So what you need to have to become a full stack developer. So you have knowledge and experience in front end, back end web development. Also, uh, this is the most important thing that you have to know to become a full stack developer. The second and the most important thing that you know is strong product management skill. That This is the most important skills, because developer role is not just to develop, it also to maintain that project also. So it's not only to develop that thing. In nearby future, you have to maintain that project also. So that what needs to become a full stack developer. So there are lot of students who don't have much interest in coding. So my second role is for that, and it's cloud architect. A cloud architect is an IT professional that can translate technical project requirement into component and design for the final product. So, cloud architects are also responsible for complex business problem. They are going to solve a biggest business problem and uh, give a chunk of things to the developer, that what to develop and what not to develop, what not to do and what to do. So, what you need to have to become a cloud architect, you have good knowledge of at least one operating system. There are many operating systems like Linux, Unix, and Ubuntu, Solaris, etc. So you can choose any one of them, but you need to have a good knowledge of any one of operating system. The second thing you need is good understanding of network. Uh, uh, it's like TCP, IP address, HTTP, DNS, that type of thing. And you also need to know some of the security concept, like what is firewall, what is authorization, what is authentication. So yeah. Uh, so the third role I quoted, most of the students are very excited about that role, is data scientist. Yeah. So
Right.
as we all know, how rapidly the amount of data is increasing day by day. So data scientists gather and analyze data sets. They can take large set of unstructured data and interrupt them and try to find pattern in them. So what you need to have become a data scientist, you need to have a strong statistical analysis and computing skill. Also good with mathematics, data visualization, how you visualize data, and if you know machine learning and little bit of programming, then it would be good. So yeah, that's all about from my side. Thank you for listening me. I'm up for your question now.
Yeah. So there are a couple of questions for you, Himanshu.
Yeah, sure.
And I'm sure a couple of from my side also.
Yeah. Sure, sure.
So people are asking or chattering about ChatGPT. So what do you think that they have asked whether ChatGPT could kill the role of programmers in future? There's no need of programmers maybe in any respect.
No, that would not be going to happen, because you need developers for chat GPT also, for creating that thing also. So I think it's not going to happen in nearby future. All uh, around 10 to 15 years, there would not be any this kind of things in the market, I think,
Okay.
because
And
you need lot of uh, process management and this kind of things to develop this, and then there will be see market, what is market is going to accept that or not. And one thing that is more important is most of the companies are working on, suppose if a company work on Java, then they are very rigid with it Java. They don't want to switch. जब तक उन्हें ऐसा नहीं लगेगा कि इस टेक्नोलॉजी में अगर चेंज करने से उनको बहुत ज्यादा कुछ फायदा हो रहा है, दे आर नॉट गोइंग टू स्विच इट. सो
Right.
आई डोंट थिंक मतलब इतना कोई इम्पैक्ट होने वाला है उस चीज का. So,
At least in near future.
yeah, at least in your future.
Or maybe from high end computation, maybe high end programming से low code पे जा सकता है आने वाले कुछ time में, but not that way. Or solution to anyhow
Yeah,
you
yeah.
have to plan according to you.
Yes, 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 yes. And IT guys are very smart to switch from one technology to other.
हाँ, ये बात तो है
So,
कि आज टेक्नोलॉजी चेंज कर रही है, हम भी चेंज हो जाएंगे. So adaptability is also very important part
yeah, yeah,
for
it's very
IT.
important for us because I work as a data scientist in Volkswagen. Then I switch as full stack developer in Mastercard. So, company के demand के हिसाब से we have to switch the our roles also.
So smartness is that like whatever you are demanding, you'll be able to
Yeah.
accept that part.
Whatever
So
they are asking in the interview that you are okay with this, you have to tell them that, yeah, I am okay with this kind of role and this kind of thing.
exactly. And so one person has asked whether how to improve our communication skill, whether the fluent English is very important to get into these kind of joints. What do you?
Yes, it's important, but for a technical perspective, I would say that it it would help you to get into the technical means job. Then it would not that much important for us. Means if you are in the company, then then there is no need of that much of communication skill. If you have, then it's good, but if you are little less in that side, it would work.
Right.
The only thing is you need to means you need to connect with clients. That much of English you need to know that.
Okay. So if any student who is non-IT and
Yeah.
wants to get into any of such role, so what do you think? Will it be fruitful or quite easy? How tough would it be for those student or learners to get into IT domains, and how should
Yeah,
they start preparing basically?
yeah. So I would tell my friend's story only. He's a he's a BCom guy, and he's in Mastercard only with me.
Right.
So there is no such thing that BCom guy cannot do technical jobs or this. You have to the thing you have to know that thing that company needs. That's the
Right.
only thing.
So ultimately, we should consider that anyhow. Now, company have started accepting the talent more than any particular degree.
Yeah, yeah. Yes, yes, it's definitely.
तो हमने इंजीनियरिंग कर ली कहीं से, उससे कोई इतना बड़ा फर्क नहीं पड़ा. हमारे नेक्स्ट में बैठने वाला इंसान कोई बीकॉम भी हो सकता है, बीबीए भी हो सकता है, बीए भी हो सकता है, डजंट मैटर.
श्योर श्योर. और प्रोडक्ट बेस्ड कंपनीज में तो यू मतलब आप ऐसे नहीं घुस सकते बिकॉज दे वुड took 5 or 6 interviews. I I cracked 5 pure technical 1.5 घंटे के interview in Mastercard.
So ये मेरे next question का part था. So how have you been into Mastercard switching from a data scientist role to full stack development or software development engineer role? How tough it was and how many interviews you have given? What was your preparation? What was your mindset basically going into that?
Actually, I just did not get kicked during my Volkswagen group job because there is a tool which I have to use. I have to do repeatedly same kind of work again and again and again.
Analysis में यही है.
So I just got bored with that kind of work. So I studied मतलब मैंने start किया React वगैरह पढ़ना. Little bit of knowledge of React, Angular, and Java. So I know during my college time. So that would help me to switch jobs from data scientist to full stack. Meanwhile, I have an offer. I have multiple offer during this kind of, but I prefer Mastercard over Flipkart, Nika, and one
Wow.
open text also offer was with me. So yeah.
Great. So these 5 different technical round of interviews, how long they were? 1.5 hours basically each, and
Yeah,
what
it's
type of
almost
questions
one
generally?
point, one point. It's almost 1.5 hour only. Means 1 hour 15 minutes, 1 hour 15 minutes of interview. They only asked me coding, data structure, nothing else. They only ask coding. They are not interested in taking my introduction also. They are only interested in coding. What you means they are
आपके बारे में तो
going
जान जाएंगे, हिमांशु पता चल जाएगा कौन है, कहाँ से आए हैं, लेकिन डेटा स्ट्रक्चर बता.
they are going to ask rapidly questions of data structures.
Right. So how much data structure should somebody know as a fresher to get into any such big giant?
Yeah, if you are able to solve medium level of questions on lead code, then it would be, I think, enough for getting jobs in big MNCs.
So how
Yeah.
many questions do you say or suggest, like at least how many problems one should go through at least a day, and how long it should take basically to reach up to that level, basically if somebody is starting rightly at fresher level?
Yeah, actually, what I follow is मेरे से एक्चुअली वो 4-4 घंटे लगातार बैठ के पढ़ाई करने वाला इंसान नहीं हुआ है. तो what I did ना, when I got 10-15 minutes during my lectures or boring हो रहा है lecture में, then I start doing coding at that time. So uh, at bit chunk of time I did coding. So means if I got time, 30 minutes here, 30 minutes there, then I did coding. So like this I did.
So how long
So
means for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months down the line?
no, it's almost 2 years I did coding. I'm a means I I am a 5-star coder on CodeChef also. So that would also really help me to crack this.
Right. So somebody who is in first and second year, you would suggest them rightly starting from now onwards, at least into this data structure algorithms, and start solving some
Yes,
problems.
yes, data structure is must. They are gonna ask you definitely question in data structure. If you are a fresher kind of guy, 1 year, 2 year of experience, they're gonna ask you data structures because in India there is no other parameter to judge a student, right? We have a platform for coding only.
Right.
There are no other such uh, platform for judging students. So they are preferring data structure of if a person is going to solve that question, hard problems. So they think that they're gonna uh, solve solve problems also, or company level problems also.
Right.
So,
Okay. And which programming language do you suggest, and which programming language that you use basically for writing the codes for any problem statement?
actually, I used C++ and Java for data structure, but I love Python also. Means I
That is
मेरे
the
को
first
जो
love
वो सही
basically.
हाँ मतलब मुझे समझ में जैसे पता चल जाता था कि इस लैंग्वेज का यूज करके थोड़ा कम टाइम में हो जाएगा क्वेश्चन, तो मैं वही यूज कर देता था. And
Right.
by the
So
way, interviewer is not interested in what coding language you know,
you are
because they only
want the solution.
want algorithm, what logic you are applying. That's it.
Right. And
They don't told me to write the whole code, or not of one question of whole code. You only want to see the logic of the code. That's it.
right. So how many questions did they ask in every single round of interview? 1, 2, 3,
Almost 8-9.
8, 9. Okay. And you were able to solve or give solution to all of them.
No, not that much. But yeah, 80 to 85% of accuracy I have maintained.
Okay. And so what kind of suggestion that you would have for the student basically who are actually starting into this domain and who would like to be the future programmers, working with big giants now? So how you will suggest, like, how should they start preparing, or start getting into this journey basically?
Yeah, so data structure is must. If you want to start your career now, then they will definitely ask you coding questions. If you are applying for a big MNC, means a big product based company, so they are going to ask you questions on data structure. Definitely, they're gonna ask you. And secondly, you have a good knowledge of what you have created, means what you have done, what you have what you build, means in college projects what you have done. So you have a good understanding of that. They might ask you in-depth knowledge of that project, what you have done in your college. So you have to know that also.
Right. So
Yeah.
in short, like three things which you quoted basically in top of it. So programming language, then DSA, and maybe projects. So projects, as far as it's concerned about the technology, maybe any technology that you are working in or using that, if you can build a project that can play a very vital role, maybe getting through the interviews altogether,
Yeah.
is it?
And one more thing, that you have to make your resume simple. You don't have to write that ये भी आता है, वो भी आता है, ये भी आता है, वो भी आता है, and वहां जाके बस.
ये तो
You
बहुत
have
बड़ी
to
प्रॉब्लम.
means you have to write that you know exactly what you know.
Right. So Himanshu, one tip that you want to give it to a student, basically, how should they, look up to their career? How should they start dreaming at least big thing? Then only they'll be able to achieve. What do you want to say? One tip or a suggestion to our learners, basically. Here. You have been into this phase. You were, the college student, then to intern. So you have been into this journey. So what kind of one particular tip that you would like to give?
Yes, actually, what I think is consistency what matters. For my perspective, that अगर आप एक दिन 5 घंटे पढ़ लोगे उससे कुछ नहीं होने वाला. So if you have 30 minutes daily during your college time, then it would create more impact. That's what I think.
Okay. Great, Himanshu. Thank you so much for this amazing time and chit chat. And I'm sure
Thank you so much.
लोगों को काफी क्लैरिटी थोड़ी मिली होगी बेसिकली कहाँ से स्टार्ट करना है, कितना टफ होता है किसी भी इंटरव्यू को क्रैक करना, और क्या क्या वो स्टेप्स हैं जिससे कि उनको इस जर्नी को क्रैक करने में हेल्प मिलेगी, आई बिलीव. और अब after a long time we are meeting or somehow discussing things, and it was a gap in between this journey. So we'll have more chit chat offline.
Sure.
Thank you so much for accepting the request.
We'll
and
meet you, sir, when I will in Jaipur, sir.
Of course.
Surely we will. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Himanshu. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
So guys, we have the another speaker without a delay. Like, let me just ask her to come. And so we have one of the speaker for this workshop, Vishakha Mulani. She is a great programmer, a great human being. So she has got into two different big giants, Microsoft as well as Google. She has cleared the interviews and got the internship opportunity. Many of you, I'm sure many of you would aim and dream about getting into any chance of or kind of opportunity into these big giants. So she has been through this journey, what kind of preparation she did, and she had things in mind why she has selected these two out of couple of other options, right? So I'm sure this journey, her journey is going to be so inspiring for you, and I'm sure it's going to be so fun. So welcome, Vishakha, and then thank you so much from the entire LNB family that you have accepted and spared some time to discuss your journey so far. So I'm sure your gap with the student who are actually there in the college, the learners, will be quite less. So you've been intern to Microsoft. You have chosen Microsoft. What was the reason, and how your journey so far, has been started, and what was your thought process to start preparing all of these things, and what exactly you have prepared for getting through these kind of interviews. So let me just welcome, guys, everyone. Let me clap and welcome you once again to this amazing workshop session, and amazing topic for you. The common mistake that everybody does, at least in college days, that you didn't do, and you were able to get through this amazing opportunity by Microsoft. So welcome, Vishaka, and please go ahead
Thank you
with your
so
session now.
much. Thank you so much. Thank you. So I really want to thank Learn and Build for giving me this opportunity. So this is my opportunity to talk to students. I'm myself in third year, and I'm talking to second, third year students. So this is an opportunity for me. Thank you so much. So basically, you said that these mistakes that I haven't done. It's not true. I have done this mistake. I have applied in more than 50, 60 companies. And luckily, my resume got shortlisted in all of them. And there was times I got rejected mails from JP Morgan and all. But every time I worked very precisely on resume, I would like to start my journey from the resume part. Okay, because interview is a secondary thing. The first, your resume should get shortlisted. And being from a tier 2, tier 3 colleges where you're not having that keyword of IIT and still getting your resume selected is something that a dream of second and third tier colleges. So if we start talking from resume part, so resume is basically we need to work upon action keywords. So what do I mean by action keywords? Action keywords, okay, first of all, take care of the requirements. I don't have one, I have 18 resumes. I modified it every time I applied for a new company, for a new join. So I have 18 to 20 resumes that I have, and I just modified it according to the requirement of the company. Make sure that you're fulfilling the requirement, and that has to be 100% honest. Whatever you write there has to be 100% honesty. You cannot like, yeah, I know this. Make it very simple. As Himanshu also said, like make it very, very simple. And I only use Novo Resume. There was a website. I don't use anything. You can also make in Google Doc. So people asking me formats of resume, it has to be very simple. Don't waste your time on it. So make sure that you use action keywords in it. I applied like develop, scale, build. These are action keywords that you can use that will help, because most of the giants don't manually shortlist the resume. They use machines and AIs to make sure for the shortlisting part, because there are thousands of applications available there. So what they do is they use keywords through which they shortlist resume. And the second part I would like to mention for the resume that will help in the interview too, that will be whatever group projects you're mentioning. Maybe you have prepared a group project. Make sure you write there what is your role, not whatever this was done, that was done. What is your role? You worked on the back end, you worked on the front end, whatever. For my part was my tech still was AI and ML. Like from second year only, I started getting into because that was my core interest. I got into development like from, you can say, at the end of the second year, I got into development, but was not a built up path, because people start development from the starting of the second year. But I got into the end of the second year, and I started it with AI and ML, because that was my liking. I started it. So you have to be open to all the technologies. फिक्स नहीं करना है कि डेवलपमेंट में जा रहे हैं तो हम डेवलपमेंट में जाएंगे. सब ओपन फॉर ऑल रहना है, ताकि हम कर सके, उन चीजों को कवर कर सके, चीजें समझ सके. तो मैंने AI/ML उठाया था, एंड मैंने लकीली उस पे 8 से 10 प्रोजेक्ट्स बनाए, बिकॉज मुझे बहुत कोर इंटरेस्ट उसमें. मैंने पूरा सेकेंड और इवन फर्स्ट ईयर भी उसी में लगाया. तो मैंने उन प्रोजेक्ट्स की वजह से और उनका प्रिसाइजनेस जो मैंने रेज्यूमे में किया, गूगल, माइक्रोसॉफ्ट, इवन अमेजॉन, इन सब में मेरा शॉर्टलिस्ट हो गया रेज्यूमे. तो अब बात आती है इंटरव्यूज की. हम इंटरव्यूज में फिर वो कौन सी गलतियां कर रहे हैं जिसके हम आगे नहीं जा पाए. तो ड्यूरिंग इंटरव्यू, make sure it's a two-way communication. It's not that the interviewer is coming, is asking the question, yes sir, I'm solving the question. Don't do this. बहुत सारे इंटरव्यूज होते हैं आपके इंट्रोडक्शन में कोई इंटरेस्ट नहीं होता. जो हिमांशु ने बोला, कोई मतलब नहीं आप कहाँ से आए हो, कौन से कॉलेज से हो. बीइंग अ गर्ल जिसने ऑफ कैंपस अप्लाई किया, इन्हें कोई मतलब नहीं है. आप आए DSA बताओ, ये क्वेश्चन सॉल्व करो. सो मोस्ट ऑफ द क्वेश्चन एक क्वेश्चन दे देंगे एंड 2 to 3 फॉलो अप्स देंगे उस क्वेश्चन के. और फॉलो अप्स आप तभी कर पाओगे जब आपको क्वेश्चन बहुत ढंग से समझ में आ गया कि ये वो एग्जैक्टली पूछना चाह रहे हैं। तो ऐसे नहीं उन्होंने क्वेश्चन पूछा, आपको समझ में आया, 50-60% आप सॉल्व करना स्टार्ट हो गए। एक्चुअली आप टाइम वेस्ट कर रहे हो अगर आपने क्वेश्चन ढंग से सीखा ही नहीं है। जो 45 मिनट्स होता है आपके लिए शायद वो अलग है कि इतना नहीं है, बट वो इंटरव्यू के लिए वो ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है कि 45 पे ही खत्म करेंगे। तो जब क्वेश्चन पूछा जाए तो उनसे कंफर्म करो कि दिस इज व्हाट एग्जैक्टली यू वांट मी टू गिव। ये क्वेश्चन एग्जैक्टली उनसे कंफर्म करो। ऐसा नहीं, वो एक कम्युनिकेशन होना चाहिए आपका और इंटरव्यू के बीच में, कि वो भी एक इंसान ही है, वो एक कंप्यूटर नहीं है जिन्होंने दिया और आप सॉल्व करना चालू हो गए। तो उनसे कंफर्म करो कि दिस इज एग्जैक्टली व्हाट यू वांट, और आप जब कोड कर रहे हो उसे तो भी बोलते रहो कि दिस इज माय एल्गो एंड दिस इज हाउ आई एम गोइंग टू डू इट। हो सकता है आपका टाइम में कंप्लीट हो ही ना पाए, बट आपने उन्हें हर चीज एक्सप्लेन कर दी जो वो उनसे एक्सपेक्ट करे कि शायद हाँ आंसर नहीं आया बट इसको एल्गोरिथम जो लगा रहा है ये बिल्कुल सही लगा रहा है। तो वो कम्युनिकेशन होना चाहिए, पूरा टाइम होना चाहिए जब आप बैठे हो वहां पे इंटरव्यू देने के लिए। ऑल्सो जैसे कम्युनिकेशन में क्यों कह रही हूँ होना चाहिए, क्योंकि मेरे साथ क्या हुआ था जब गूगल के इंटरव्यूज मैंने दिए थे, लकीली माइक्रोसॉफ्ट में मैं थ्रू एंगेज सेलेक्ट हुई थी। तो एंगेज आई गॉट डायरेक्ट इंटरव्यू जो टॉप 200 को मिला था, तो वो डायरेक्ट मुझे वहाँ पे मुझे इंटरव्यू देने का मौका नहीं मिला था। बाकी बाकी सारी कंपनी में मैंने इंटरव्यूज दिए। मेनली हम गूगल के इंटरव्यू की बात करें तो गूगल के इंटरव्यू में उन्होंने मुझे एक ही क्वेश्चन दिया था जो 45 मिनट्स का टाइम था, 3-4 इंटरव्यू थे, फर्स्ट इंटरव्यू में एक क्वेश्चन दिया। तो उन्होंने बोला वो चीज मुझे समझ आ गई थी, ठीक है। मैंने उनसे कंफर्म किया दैट दिस इज द थिंग यू व्हाट यू वांट दिस, ठीक है। एट लास्ट सिर्फ 10 मिनट्स बचे थे, ही गिव मी अ फॉलो अप कि इस क्वेश्चन को ऐसे करे तो कैसे करें। एंड आई वाज लाइक 10 मिनट्स में मैं समझ गई थी 10 मिनट्स में इसको करना पॉसिबल नहीं है, मतलब क्योंकि मुझे वो पूरे स्क्रैच से वापस स्टार्ट करना पड़ेगा, मुझसे एक नई अप्रोच पूछ रहे थे। तो वो एक बहुत टेक्निक होती है कि आपको समझना होता है कि 10 मिनट वो नहीं चाह रहे कि आप कोड करके दो, वो चाह रहे हैं कि आप उसकी अप्रोच ढंग से उन्हें बता दो। तो मैंने वापस से एक नया कोड स्टार्ट किया, मैंने बेस कोड लिख लिया विद इन 5 मिनट्स। मैंने कहा दिस इज द बेस कोड, और फिर मैंने बचे हुए 2-3 मिनट उन्हें अप्रोच समझाई। अब वो मैं क्यों समझा पाई, क्योंकि मुझे क्वेश्चन एग्जैक्टली पता था कि ये पूछना चाह रहे हैं। और प्रैक्टिस पे ही डिपेंड करेगा ये, जितनी ज्यादा आप प्रैक्टिस करोगे उतना ज्यादा इजी आपका इंटरव्यू जाएगा, क्योंकि आपको याद आएगा ये क्वेश्चन, इस टाइप का क्वेश्चन मैंने लीड कोड पे करा था, इस टाइप का क्वेश्चन मैंने गीक्स पे देखा। तो ये तभी हो सकता है जब आपकी प्रैक्टिस अच्छी हो। तो दिस इज द बेस थिंग कि कम्युनिकेशन करना है अपने इंटरव्यू से। और रेज्यूमे जब मेरा फर्स्ट में मेरा रेज्यूमे पूरा खोल दिया था फर्स्ट इंटरव्यू में, और वो वर्ड बाय वर्ड रीड कर रहे थे, मतलब मेरे सामने उन्होंने पूरा मेरा रेज्यूमे रीड करा। तो मेरे जितने भी प्रोजेक्ट्स थे मैं बहुत प्रिसाइज थी कि आप एक लाइन में उस प्रोजेक्ट को समझा दो कि ये एग्जैक्टली ये कर रहा है प्रोजेक्ट। हो सकता है उस प्रोजेक्ट में आपके साथ 4 लोग और हो, मेक श्योर कि आप अपना रोल्स में प्रिसाइजली मेंशन करें, दिस वाज माय रोल एंड दिस इज व्हाट द टेक स्टैक आई यूज्ड। तो वहां पे टाइम वेस्ट भी नहीं होगा, और डायरेक्टली डेटा पॉइंट उसी डेटा पॉइंट पे आप पे इंटरव्यूअर क्वेश्चन करेगा। तो रेज्यूमे का ध्यान रखना है और कम्युनिकेशन का ध्यान रखना है। फॉर मी दिस इज द थिंग दैट शुड बी टेकन केयर ड्यूरिंग इंटरव्यूज। Any other questions I can solve?
Yeah, definitely. There are many questions for you. People are flooding with the questions. So, what are those platforms where you were applying, for all these internships? So, what was your mindset basically? Why you were applying for internship? The first question is this. Let me ask the other questions or few more questions from you. What people want to hear and listen about.
Okay, so why I was applying, because I was in second year and wanted a summer intern in third year. And it was very easy if you're getting a good intern and you get a security. You don't like you. I have like all my friends are worried about placement. I am worried too. But I know that I have a security. I have to select between Microsoft and Google. I will select and I will go there, and there's a chances of getting PPO. And you're having a intern tag on your resume that I interned at Google. That tag will help you to get into better offices and companies. So that I wanted that tag. I was belonging to a second tier college. I still wanted those company never. I was sure those company are not going to come in my colleges. I still wanted to be there. So I started applying at the end of second year, and platform is like basically you can go to their websites. I search what companies I can apply for. You won't believe, sir, I applied almost in 100 companies. That was almost in 100 companies. And though I really worked on my resume, so I got listed in maximum of them. And there are other companies also that I got selected, but I didn't mention because they are not in my tag. So only these two I mentioned. So basically आपको एक इंटर्न चाहिए होती है थर्ड ईयर में टू गेट इनटू अ बेटर कंपनी, और सेकंड और थर्ड ईयर के जो सेकंड ईयर के कॉलेजेस होते हैं वो इंटर्न पे ध्यान नहीं देते हैं इतना। तो आई डोंट
Right.
वांट अदर पीपल टू डू दिस मिस्टेक, क्योंकि वो जो टाइम पीरियड होता है समर इंटर्न का वो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट होता है किसी भी इंजीनियर के लिए, कि आप उस टाइम पे एक अच्छी जगह इंटर्न लगा देते हो, वो एक लाइफ टाइम एक्सपीरियंस हो जाता है, आपकी स्टार्टिंग जो होती है वो बहुत अच्छी हो जाती है। तो अप्लाई तो करना ही है, जहाँ सारी बड़ी कंपनीज का नाम सबको पता है, बट बड़ी कंपनी नहीं, इवन मैंने काफी ज्यादा स्टार्टअप्स में भी अप्लाई किया, क्योंकि स्टार्टअप से आप अगर जा रहे हो तो वो जो इन्वायरमेंट होता है ना, वो आपको एक नॉर्मल कंपनी नहीं दे सकती। इवन जब मैं स्टार्टअप्स में इंटरव्यू देती थी, बहुत अलग होते थे स्टार्टअप के एचआर्स और किसी भी मैन कंपनी के एचआर्स। वो एकदम ओपनली बात करें, वो आपकी अदर स्किल्स पे भी बहुत ज्यादा ध्यान देना चाहेंगे। तो अप्लाई आपको हर जगह करना है, मतलब अपने आप को कहीं रिस्ट्रिक्ट नहीं करना कि मैं तो गूगल में ही अप्लाई करूंगा, मैं तो इसमें अप्लाई हर जगह करना है, क्योंकि अगर आप वहाँ नहीं भी जाना चाहते तो आप वहाँ से एक्सपीरियंस लेके आओगे। तो आप 4-4 6-6 राउंड के इंटरव्यूज देते हो ना, तो वो एक्सपीरियंस आपको बहुत ज्यादा काम आने वाला है। तो आई गेस अप्लाई आप उनकी वेबसाइट्स पे कर सकते हो, आप सर्च करो कौन सी कंपनीज कौन से टेक स्टैक, अपना टेक स्टैक फिक्स करो और कौन सी कंपनीज उसके लिए जा रही है, आप उन पे अप्लाई कर दो। सो दिस इज
Right. So I'm sure your Excel sheet of those 100 companies and maybe your 18, 20 different set of styles of resume are going to help very well to the learners, and I'm sure it could have another session specifically upon those things also, how you have planned all those things. So smart approach, even how you were getting time. Basically, I'm sure while listening all of these things, स्टूडेंट्स विल बी वरीड अबाउट ओके यार, मेरे को तो कॉलेज में टाइम ही नहीं मिलता, मुझे तो असाइनमेंट बनाने हैं मुझे तो एग्जाम देने हैं. हाउ यू आर गेटिंग टाइम इवन टू सर्च आउट ऑल दीज कंपनीज, अप्लाइंग देयर एंड रिवाइजिंग योर changing or updating your resumes, even the projects including the technology, then data structures, I don't know. So they'll be having a couple of questions in mind. So are you a superhuman basically doing all those things?
तो एक्चुअली बेसिक असाइनमेंट्स और प्रोजेक्ट्स ही करने तो सबको ही पड़ते हैं, आप नहीं करो तो भाई वहां बैक लग जाएगी तो कहीं कुछ नहीं लगने वाला। तो आई जस्ट मैनेज माई टाइम, मैं असाइनमेंट्स ड्यू डेट की भी अभी देना 1 घंटे पहले मैं असाइनमेंट कर रही हूँ, तो मैं नहीं कह रही, मैं रिकमेंड नहीं कर रही ऐसे करो, बट आई डिड दिस कि मैंने असाइनमेंट्स और ये सारी चीजों पे टाइम वेस्ट नहीं करा। ये सबको करना है, आपको भी करना है, जस्ट मेक श्योर यूर मैनेजिंग कि हाँ आधे घंटे में हो सकता है तो आधे घंटे में खत्म कर दो, उस चीज को लेके नहीं बैठना है। ऑल्सो अबाउट डीएसए, और मेनली सेकेंड ईयर के खत्म होने के बाद हमारे कॉलेज ने 2.5 महीने का टाइम दिया था कि डू ट्रेनिंग, बट उस टाइम पे मैं ट्रिप पे चली गई तो मैंने ट्रेनिंग काफी लेट स्टार्ट की। तो मैं कहा किसी ट्रेनिंग में जाने से बेटर है जो डीएसए मैंने अभी तक पढ़ रखी है, लेट्स प्रैक्टिस दैट। और लकीली उसी टाइम पे मैं अप्लाई भी कर रही थी कंपनीज में ऑफ कैंपस के लिए, तो मैंने 2.5 महीने तक सिर्फ प्रैक्टिस करी डीएसए की उन टॉपिक्स के जो मैंने ऑलरेडी कवर करे थे। तो उस प्रैक्टिस के थ्रू वो वेकेशंस थी बेसिकली, जो कॉलेज वेकेशंस होती है वो घूमने फिरने के लिए नहीं होती, स्टिल लाइक सेकेंड ईयर तो घूम लो, बट खत्म हो गया सेकेंड ईयर, उसके बाद जो भी वेकेशंस मिल रही है वो एक एक दिन आपके लिए इंपॉर्टेंट हो जाता है, स्पेशली अगर आप ऑफ कैंपस अप्लाई करो। ऑन कैंपस कंपनीज आती है, आप उस टाइम प्रिपेयर कर सकते हो, कोई दिक्कत नहीं, लेकिन ऑफ कैंपस आप जब अप्लाई कर रहे होते हो आपको आपका पूरा इंडिया ही आपका कंपटीशन बन जाता था, क्योंकि आईआईटीएंस भी ऑफ कैंपस, मेरे जो फ्रेंड्स थे आईआईटी वो भी हमें कहा तुम लोग भी ऑफ कैंपस अप्लाई कर रहे हो, इसमें मतलब हम कहाँ जाए फिर। वो कि नहीं, यहाँ पे सिविल मैकेनिकल को अच्छी कंपनीज नहीं मिलती, हमें भी ऑफ कैंपस जाना पड़ता है। तो उस टाइम पे पूरा इंडिया आपका वो होता है। तो बेसिकली जब भी वेकेशंस आए और इवन संडे हो, तो जो भी चीजें आपने ऑलरेडी कर रखी है उनकी प्रैक्टिस काफी जरूरी है। अगर मैंने प्रैक्टिस नहीं करी होती तो मैं उतना कॉन्फिडेंट अपने इंटरव्यू में नहीं होती। इवन मैंने कभी नहीं सोचा, चाहे गूगल का इंटरव्यू था, मैंने अमेजोन का दिया, मैंने जेपी मॉर्गन का दिया, मैंने आई फेल्ट कि आई वाज वेरी कॉन्फिडेंट, क्योंकि वो क्वेश्चंस, क्योंकि गूगल का भी सेम क्वेश्चन लेके नहीं आएगा, बट द टाइप ऑफ क्वेश्चन, और फिर आपको एकदम से हाँ ये मैंने वहाँ किया था, ये मीडियम लेवल का क्वेश्चन था, उस शीट का एकदम से याद आ जाता है। तो वो प्रैक्टिस करना, जब भी वेकेशंस मिले प्रैक्टिस करो, और असाइनमेंट्स फाइल्स इन सब में ज्यादा टाइम वेस्ट नहीं करना। जब भी इनके सबमिशन डेट्स हैं उनके अकॉर्डिंग टाइम मैनेज करो, अपनी स्पीड समझो कि मैं कितने जल्दी फाइल लिख सकता हूँ। मैंने ऑलमोस्ट एक दिन में मैंने पूरे सेमेस्टर की फाइल लिख ली थी, बस वही मेरा काम था। मैं कहा एक दिन में पूरी लिख दो, आई वॉज वेरी गुड, मेरी स्पीड काफी अच्छी थी लिखने में, तो मैंने एक दिन में पूरी फाइल्स बना दी। तो मैं दिमाग में चल रहा था बहुत टाइम से फाइल बनानी है, तो अकॉर्डिंग अपनी स्पीड को देख के सबमिशन के हिसाब से उसे मैनेज करो। और बेसिकली जो बड़ी कंपनीज होती है उन्हें सिर्फ आपके टैक्स से मतलब नहीं होता, उन्हें दिखता है कि आपको टैक्स के अलावा क्या आता है, क्योंकि राउंड एचआर राउंड, टेक्निकल राउंड तो हो गए, अब एचआर राउंड हो गए, उसमें आप क्या करोगे, आपको अलग से भी स्किल्स सिखानी है। तो अपने कॉलेज क्लब्स में देना बहुत जरूरी है, क्योंकि फर्स्ट अप्रोच वही होती है। आप बाहर जाके अपने स्किल्स बढ़ाओ वो तो मुश्किल, लेकिन कॉलेज स्टूडेंट्स के लिए बेस्ट होता है वो कॉलेज क्लब्स में अप्लाई करें। तो मैं अपने ई सेल्स वगैरह में थी, तो वहाँ पे आपकी ग्रोथ भी होगी, प्लस आप रेज्यूमे में दिखाने के लिए कुछ हो जाएगा। एक तो आपकी स्किल्स लिख दी आपने, और नेक्स्ट टाइम आपने देखी वही नॉन टेक्निकल स्किल्स है, और नॉन टेक्निकल स्किल्स के क्वेश्चंस कई बार इंटरव्यूअर्स पूछते हैं। उन्हें जानना है कि एज अ पर्सन डीएसए हो सकता है सबको आती हो, अगर आप ऑफ कैंपस अप्लाई करो आपको बहुत अच्छे कॉम्पिटिटर्स मिलेंगे ना डीएसए आती है ढंग से। तो अलग से आपकी क्या स्किल्स है, अलग से आपने क्या किया है, वो जो टाइम पीरियड आपको कॉलेज में मेंटेन करना है, कि कॉलेज में टाइम मिल रहा है तो किसी क्लब में पार्ट ले लिया, उस क्लब में आपने कुछ एक्टिविटीज कर ली, उसे ढंग से मेंशन भी किया अपनी रेज्यूमे में। मतलब इवेंट्स करवा दिए आपने, मतलब बेसिकली इवेंट, कोई भी इवेंट करवाना आपको खुद कॉन्फिडेंस देता है। तो आई वाज अ पार्ट ऑफ ईसीएल, मैंने कुछ इवेंट्स करवाए, मैंने उसके पार्ट जो भी मैंने वहाँ पे करा। आप कंटेंट राइटिंग भी कर रहे हो तो मेंशन करो उस चीज को, एक नॉन टेक्निकल स्किल हो गई। तो बेसिकली कॉलेज में टाइम बहुत होता है, अगर हम मटर गश्ती ना करें तो हम उसे यूज कर सकते हैं।
आपने जो टाइम को स्ट्रेच किया है ना, मुझे समझ में नहीं आता। आई मीन apart from Ankur Wariko, the another girl on the planet is you, that who is managing your time very well, you know.
No,
Well done, seriously. Like ये लोगों को काफी अच्छा सजेशन मिल रहा है कि मिस्टेक जो करनी है वो टाइम बेकार नहीं करना है, चाहे वो कोई भी
exactly.
वैकेशन मिल रही है उसको अच्छे से यूज करना है। रिज्यूमे राइटिंग के टाइम पे हम लोगों को मैचिंग करते हुए प्रोफाइल को यूज करना है। एंड आई बिलीव टेक स्टैक में आप आपका एनी टेक स्टैक दैट यू हैव, ट्राई टू बिल्ड सम प्रोजेक्ट्स दैट विल गिव यू कॉन्फिडेंस एंड स्टैंडिंग
Exactly.
आउट you apart from the other people, and keep applying, you know, everywhere wherever you can get the opportunity instead of, you know, even the big names only. This is the another key learning. So people want to know, one last question from you is, how deep that DSA should somebody should know in starting, basically, you know, how many questions, how much time that somebody should at least spend on DSA in starting of journey.
Okay, so basically, when we're applying for any of the internship, the interviewers and the company know that these are college students. They won't accept a high level, or they won't expect कि 4 घंटे रोज पढ़ रहे हैं. But make sure topics you cover all of them. Cover all the topics. हो सकता है आपको, आपने binary tree पढ़ा, आपने BFS DFS पढ़ा, अब मेक श्योर आपने ये एल्गो पढ़ ली, ये एल्गो बहुत अच्छे से आ गई, बट इन एल्गो से किस किस टाइप के क्वेश्चंस आ सकते हैं। बेसिकली हो सकता है कोई इंटरव्यूअर आपके आगे कोई क्वेश्चन पूछ ले, एंड आपको वो एल्गो अच्छे से आती है, बट आपको पता ही नहीं है इस क्वेश्चन में वो वाली एल्गो अप्लाई होगी। बट अगर आपको प्रैक्टिस, आपने एक एल्गो पढ़ी, मेथड ही होना चाहिए, आपने एल्गो पढ़ी नॉर्मल, आपने यूट्यूब वीडियो से आपने पढ़ ली, वो बुक से या कहीं से आपने एल्गो पढ़ी, नाउ फाइंड आउट कि उस पर्टिकुलर एल्गो से हम कितने क्वेश्चन सॉल्व कर सकते हैं, मतलब किस किस टाइप के क्वेश्चंस में ये वाली एल्गो अप्लाई होगी। तो बहुत डीप में नहीं जाना है, बट जो पढ़ा है उतना आप ढंग से कर पाओ, विच इज समथिंग दैट इज वेरी नेसेसरी। हो सकता है वहाँ पे जो क्वेश्चन है उसे 10 तरह की एल्गो से सॉल्व किया जा सकता है, उनमें से एक भी
Right.
आपको आती है, आप एटलीस्ट टैकल तो कर पाओगे क्वेश्चन को। तो ये तभी होगा कि आपने हो सकता है सारी एल्गोस पढ़ ली, लेकिन क्वेश्चन आने पे आपको पता ही नहीं कि यहाँ पे अप्लाई हो रही है। तो जो भी
Right.
पढ़ रहे हो उसके साथ आप उसकी किस किस टाइप की, हो सकता है एक ही एल्गो से 50 तरह के क्वेश्चन कर रहे हैं, एटलीस्ट 10 प्रैक्टिस कर लो। मीडियम लेवल तक जा रहे हो तो अच्छी कंपनी में मिल जाओगे, वरना सिंपल लेवल तो करना ही करना है। आई विल रिकमेंड कि
Right.
मीडियम लेवल तक तो जाना ही है। हार्ड फिर आप पे टाइम के अकॉर्डिंग, आपके पास इतना टाइम है तो हार्ड क्वेश्चन भी ट्राई करो, बट मीडियम इज समथिंग, जिसका जो लेवल आपको अप्रोच करना है। तो टॉपिक्स करो कवर, तो उनके साथ साथ उनके जो क्वेश्चन आ सकते हैं उनको साथ साथ लेके चलो। ऐसे नहीं कि पूरे टॉपिक एक साथ पढ़ के फिर एंड में शीट उठा लो, तो साथ साथ चले तो ज्यादा बेहतर है।
Right. Or whether which particular programming language that did you use for, you know, writing all these codes?
बेसिकली मैंने इंटरव्यूज में तो C++ से ही किया था, बट मेरी फेवरेट पाइथन डेवलप, क्योंकि मैंने डेवलपमेंट पाइथन में ही किया है। जो भी AI ML डेवलपमेंट मैंने किया वो पाइथन में किया, तो आई वाज वेरी कॉन्फिडेंट। जैसे मैंने कहा कि 10 मिनट्स बचे थे इस पेपर में, एक क्वेश्चन जो मैंने एग्जांपल दिया था, तो 2-3 बार ऐसा हुआ था दूसरी बार में, तो मैंने कहा कि मैं स्विच करना चाहती हूँ पाइथन में, एंड दे हैड नो प्रॉब्लम। आपको जस्ट पाइथन इज इजियर C++ या किसी
Right.
भी जावा की कंपैरिजन, पाइथन में जल्दी आप आंसर ला सकते हैं। तो मैंने पाइथन में स्विच करा, इंटरव्यू के बीच में ही मैंने 2 क्वेश्चन, एक C++ और एक पाइथन से किया, एंड ही हैड नो प्रॉब्लम विद इट। तो
Even they'll be
डेफिनेटली
happy to see whether you were quite, you know, proficient in both of them and maybe comfortable in both of them.
यस, दैट इज प्लस पॉइंट आ गया ना, कि आपने 1 सेकंड में स्विच कर लिया और आपको कोई दिक्कत नहीं है उसमें। C++ सब उससे स्टार्ट करते, तो मैंने भी उसी से स्टार्ट किया था, एंड पाइथन में मैं डेवलपमेंट के टाइम पे आई थी, तो पाइथन मेरा स्टार्टिंग से ही था कि पाइथन तो आती ही है, तो कुछ भी क्वेश्चन
Right.
अगर नहीं हो रहा, टाइम कम है, तो आप पाइथन से करेंगे। So these
Great.
were the two
So,
core languages.
Still there are a couple of questions. So because of time limit, Vishakha, we have
Yes.
to, somehow close this now. And at last, really, it was amazing. इतनी मतलब clarity होना college के अंदर ये बच्चों के लिए बहुत मुश्किल बात है. And you have that clarity, and still you got somehow the outcome of that, effort which you have made in college. So wish you luck for a great journey ahead, with Microsoft, with big giants further in
Thank you.
in career. I'm sure what I have got to know is around 40% retention or PPO offers used to be sent, and I believe like you should be getting PPO from Microsoft itself,
Okay.
right? So wish you luck, and thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
So guys, now just give me a moment. So guys, I'm going to ask one question based on this, so one question as a quiz. So whoever is going to answer this question, I'm going to ask this in the chat box on YouTube. So whoever is going to answer this question is going to get the opportunity as an intern, and also couple of other goodies and gifts and offers. So let me just ask the questions, and it's very simple. Let me see whether how many of you are going to answer this. So I've just asked one simple questions. Write name of top 5 programming language currently. Let me see whether who is going to answer this. In one single top 5 names in one single. Let me just ask it very clearly. You have to answer it only in one single message. 5 names. It will be tough for checking out whether. Yeah, so in one single message, you have to write it out. So team Learn and Build, please check the messages. So after some time, we'll be having or we'll be announcing the name of the winner of this quiz basically. So let's move on to the next topic, and it's going to be very important for many of the students. Since this topic usually come in the mind for everyone, what could be the right approach of cracking the interviews? So generally in college or for the people, what I personally got to know was that somehow in mass recruitment, the companies are coming, and you usually used to be getting selected in those companies, and you are supposed, or maybe your seniors suppose got selected and got job maybe at XYZ location. After maybe 3 to 6 months of training from that company, you are going to be appointed on a role. So suppose you were willing to get a role of data scientist, and suppose you have got analyst role and maybe the another different role. So getting the right set of opportunity, right role is one of the key challenges that any student or college student is getting faced. And because of that, either that student, like Himanshu said, generally don't feel connected or interested towards working on that, feeling bored, and maybe you'll not be able to perform better there also. So companies usually don't want such kind of people also to retain in the company, and that is why attrition rate means either you will leave the company or company will fire you. So this kind of scenario happens. So in India, for all these IT sectors, at least this is the current rate. So 45% attrition rate is there, and we want to reduce this rate as one of the company, as one of the vision that Learn and Build has. We want you to get right skill so that you'll be able to get core jobs. So what are the importance of getting core job? Because the attrition rate, your interest will be there, your attrition will be there, will be less, and moreover, in future, the attrition, somehow going to be reduced. Switching here and there from one company to another would be less, and maybe retention in the one single company, growth rate of the people would be improved. So that is the mission that Learn and Build is working behind. So we have one topic, how to get or how to crack the interviews for core jobs. So we have one speaker today, Mr. Kanish Sharma, who is infrastructure engineer at Cisco. He's working with Webex team and whatnot. Like another, one particular guy who is been from very ordinary college and then cracked out interviews, getting into such reputed industry and getting such big role, big responsibility. I welcome Kanishk on Learn and Build platform today and speaking on one of the great topic. And I'm sure this would definitely help student getting to know where to start, how to start into infrastructure industry also. So what kind of topic that one should understand, know before getting into this infrastructure development, maybe Linux, cloud, or whatsoever. So please start with your introduction and let them know how should they prepare for such kind of core jobs. So welcome to Learn and Build platform and for this amazing work.
Thank you. First of all, thank you so much for this opportunity to express our, you can say, the guidance of all those guys who are in learning phase. Thank you so much, Learn and Build. So, and Gaurav sir, thank you so much for this. So guys,
you're mute, Kanishk, and if possible, you please try to turn on the camera if you'll be able. I mean, you are in right position.
Yeah, sure. Give me 1 minute. Actually, I'm outside. I am going to office. So,
okay.
1 moment.
Stay some spaces. Somehow
1 moment. 1 moment. Yeah.
Perfect. Already. No, it's okay.
Actually, no problem. So first of all, thank you you and Learn and Build actually, and Gaurav sir for giving me this opportunity to express actually the technology stack and its scenario going on. So all of guys, you are thinking like recession coming. So no problem on that part. Actually, if you have right skills, right path. So myself, Kanish Sharma, I am an infrastructure engineer and senior manager in Cisco. And it's about actually 1 year, like I spent in Cisco and learned so much learning there. So first and as well as like you can say I manage all those infrastructure things. I will explain what actually the infrastructure is. So yeah. So first of all, like who guys are in learning phase, first of all. So I need to interact with those guys actually. So yeah. So whoever like
everybody, yeah. So people are watching from YouTube actually there, and they are all listening you basically, and everybody is there in learning mode right now. So many of them are in college, and some of them have got job. Basically, they are waiting to switch into IT industries. So such kind of learners are there who are watching from YouTube rightly. So yeah, you can just go ahead and tell them about your experience, your thought process about getting a core job basically, and what could be the right process to get it out.
Sure. So basically, I start actually my journey in 2020 ending. So in 2020 ending, so I heard about like we need to like do some more important is to understand programming language first. So I started a programming language, and you can choose any programming language if you have interest. You can choose Python, you can choose C++, any. whatever you have. But I choose Go for some reasons actually. And I have interest in the containerization and all these kind of technology to explore things. So I choose Go in my preference. So I started my journey in Go and Express actually, like how the system works, how the Go routines and all of these actually, and understanding the basic technology stacks in Go. So I choose some modules, specific modules. You can choose any modules. Let's say in the Python, we have different libraries and stack like Django frameworks, different. Same as Go, we have Go frameworks and all. I explore these frameworks. And apart from this, like I started this with Go, and approximately 2 and 3 months I prepared to understanding about what actually the Go is, how the programming paradigms work, how the object oriented. So mainly focus in OOPS concept, basically some logic building part, so that we can understand very quickly. So I just explore things in a particular, let's say I just go in the lead code and some basic programming question I do, and preparing some data structure and algorithm. If you are like go into proper in administrator, Linux administrator part, moreover in DevOps admin part, not developer part, admin part. So you don't require much programming language knowledge. You have sufficient like Linux, and in my experience, Linux and basic you can say understanding of those you can say the administrator part, like how to manage the file systems and all, that will be sufficient while you are going into the fresher part. So in my, because I'm thinking in developer side, so I prepared in Go, then I go into the data structures algorithm, then I understand actually the programming first. So I explore lead code. We have online platform like Geek for Geek. So many platforms available. You can prepare there. So basic, you can say like 15 question string, 15 question you pick up like a bitmap manipulations, and 10 question you pick up the tree, BST and all. So you can link list, 5 question you pick up. You can just, you not to be like, you can say very healthy in this, you can say DSA. DSA is very vast, but you need to pick important parts. The graph, tree, bit mapping, so that you can understand your logic first. So while you are building the logic, that will be, in my perspective, 2 months completely I take actually to understand the things, explore actually, because I'm like very much, you can say, exploration man, like you can. So I just explore things. So after this, like I go into some, you can say, the operating system part, system administrator part, so that I can understand the core in operating system. So then I choose the pick Linux, and I have interest in hacking also, so that you can say bug bounty and all. So I do in the free time with the Linux. So that will be help. Linux is very helpful while you are doing bounties and all. So after this, I pick up some, you can say, the major things like building applications, how we build application in Go, how we are doing this. So I just explore those things. In the Go, we have REST-based API creation. So I explore that things, how we can APIs created, what is actually the microservices. Then I heard about like microservices, monolithic to microservices conversion in going on. So I understand that part. Like I am building those applications, like we have monolithic, how we can convert into microservices. So that will be possible. Anything is possible while you understand the first core thing actually. Then you slowly understand the things more clearly, how the, you can say, exploration, what actually the automation is. So then I understand, I create the microservices part. So I understand the developer background, that you can say the building very quickly. Then I move into some big data integration with those cloud basically. So then I explore the cloud basis. So I prepared AWS cloud first. You can pick any, like you can AWS, GCP, Azure. If you have cloud also, you can pick stacks and all. But you need to pick like any program, any cloud which you have interest. So I pick AWS because AWS is simple, and AWS is like a stakeholder 48%, I think, in the market. So I choose AWS first. Then I explore some services, big data services, explore. Then I understand what actually the cloud is, how we can integrate with the microservices while you are creating, how we can deploy those microservices into the cloud. So I understand those things. Then I will move into them, like you can say the automation, how we can automatically create it. So we have GitHubs. You heard about that, GitHubs and our term. So how we can, whenever we push something in GitHub, how they automatically deploy into the cloud basis. So that thing I understand interestingly. So infrastructure term, because in the current organization, I am working in a WebEx core product there, WebEx and Duo Security. If you heard about that, Duo Security, that would be like app to approve, sign in, help them to sign in, and WebEx. So I am working on that and understanding those things, like how that gonna work, how the whole infrastructure, because they have huge infrastructure. So they just give some one module and explore them modules. That modules is just nothing how we can do. I don't, you can say, elaborate more, but in the elaboration, just elaboration. And that thing, like how we can prepare some on automation, how we can include in them. So that thing I understand majorly. Like in the automation, because in the DevOps and cloud, you require automation every time, because no one do the manual works. All of them like required automations there. Like you need to manage the networks, you need to manage the IPs, you need to create a Ansible, let's say. So slowly I pick cloud, then I move into them into the, like you can say, then how we can Dockerize, how we can containerize. So if you heard about that Postman, Docker, Kubernetes, if you heard about that, so that would you can say the major play in the containerization. Moreover, Docker Kubernetes is enough to containerize those things. But I understand first I Docker,
just
then
to
I
interrupt you
move into
in
the
between,
Kubernetes.
yeah, just to interrupt you in between, Kanishk. So your journey, you have been through, like I've seen, I mean, people, and we have shared your profile to the students also. I'm sure there has been a lot of, tools and languages, a lot of things that you have just all explored. And your nature is basically to explore things very well, basically, right from very beginning to the end level, right? So what are the key things, at least 2-3 key things that you will try to tell learners, focusing upon getting the core jobs?
So basically core jobs, while we are talk about majorly like core job, like you can say basic interview, trust process, screening. Basically first you focus on your resume.
Right.
The resume will be the short and sweet. Actually, whatever the technology you highlight it in the key points. Like you can say short or sweet. Like you explain the project first, you explain the tools, you explain actually the technology, that. Let's say you are using BTech. What you are doing in the BTech? You first like elaborate something. In the BTech, I understand those things, and in the 4 years journey, I learn those things into that. You clean actually the whatever the education background, clean, sweet or clean. Actually, main thing is this. After this,
Right.
you need to elaborate your technology stack. The section technology stack. After technology stack, you need to mention the projects. Actually, whatever the client projects you do, whatever the things you do in the client project, you need to mark or mention or highlight the keys. Actually, let's say you use the Python and Django. You highlighted the Python Django with the big data. This Hive we are using database. You need to highlight those points so that
Right.
when you are like you can. When you are upload some resume, let's say around XYZ company, Google, they highlighted the key points actually. So
Right.
you need to majorly on the key highlighted points in the stack, because in my case, actually, I highlighted those points, and in the interviewer asked me in the highlighted points only. So
Right.
in this technology, so that will be the major first thing which I do, and which I tell. Second thing, you need to like you can say master that one programming language. Master in the sense you at least you need to understand the logic first. Logic is important. You need to build the logic. That is
Right.
important. You can pick any programming language, whatever you know. In the C, you can pick Qualcomm working only C and C++. Qualcomm company that building the embedded systems there. You can pick any programming language. Second thing is to building logic first. Third thing is explore. Actually, because why I'm like you can say telling explore because in the one interviewer asked, do you like exploration? So what kind of exploration you require? Like you do. Let's say you don't. Let's say I transferred into the other programming language. Let's say in the different project,
yes,
different programming language they use. You are able to do that or not? So I answer them like I don't know. I don't understand any programming language, but I understand how we can find things, how we can complete the things. I know how to build them. So these kind of things, building logic is important. Key notes, key points in the resume, very important. Third thing is to like whenever the project you are building, let's say the project you worked with some company internship 3 months. So in that project, you need to understand, make sure you are creating, you are done by your own only. So you need to like understand our project very, very, very nicely actually, because anybody can ask you question, you can give like able to give the answer. So you need to understand the like our project, own project only, very like you can say sincere basis.
Right. So is been out just maybe because of network. So in the meantime, I'm sure because he was talking about infrastructure. Yeah. So you're back, Kanishk. So we are running short of time, and you're on mute right now. So are you there? Are you able to listen to that?
Yeah, yes.
So
I'm
we
back.
are running sort of time right here. So your key points which you have highlighted, I'm sure exploring every possible opportunity aspect is one key point. The another is very importantly picking up some language and mastering that language very well. And somehow you told focus upon your resume, since you are a beginner, to try to just make it simple and crisp about what actually the requirement of the company or the organization is. So I'm sure these things are going to help them out, and taking your time, you're going to office, and somehow because of us maybe you're going to be delayed. So thank you so much for taking out some time and talking about your experiences so far about this amazing topic. And I'm sure people must have have the clarity about the journey so far. So thank you so much, Kanish, once again, and we'll meet sometime.
Sure, definitely. Thank you.
Thank you. So guys, like just give me a moment. So like I asked one question on the chat box. Yeah, we have just asked one question in the chat box. So we have one winner here. The name of the winner of first, let me just write his name in the chat box. So he's the winner of first quiz which we have taken as from the first question which I've asked. So Manikant Singh is the winner of the first quiz, and we'll be taking your details later on. Team Learn and Build, please take care of it. Let me ask the another question here in the chat box. Try to answer that out also. So I'm just going to ask this and try to write down in one single message only. Yeah, so question has been asked. Please try to see that one and try to answer it out. So now, Ash, you'll be next. So I'm just going to announce. So we have one more speaker here in between before you, Ash. So Vishal Sharma is the next speaker who is going to speak about very important topic that many of you would have in mind, and I'm sure you would doubt upon yourself that once your college is not IIT or NIT or maybe tier 1 category of college. So does college or branch matter to get place in big companies? Since you have gone through with couple of people who have just spoken so far, who got job into Google, Microsoft or MasterCard. So they were not from tier 1 but still got the opportunity. Still I would ask Vishal to highlight key pointers being a student from tier 1 or tier 2, tier 3 category of colleges, what kind of pointers or important thing that you should keep in mind, and how he was able to crack the interviews that he had done so far. So he has been he is a data scientist and NLP engineer in Credgenics, as well as he was the data scientist and NLP engineer earlier into one of the company called To The New. He got couple of placement offers during his college days. So how he got the opportunity, how is he has transformed his journey so far, why he has taken such kind of decision, and what kind of mistakes generally user or students used to do in college days that you should not do. At least let's try to listen it up from Vishal. You please come up, and you are welcome to Learn and Build platform, taking out the opportunity from our side. We welcome you talking about this another one big topic.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
sure. Okay, so hello everyone. Hope you are doing good and keeping safe. So first of all, a very warm welcome to all the learners. It is a pleasure to have such a dedicated and eager audience here to listen and learn from those of us who are sharing our career insights and experiences. So before I jump onto today's topic of discussion, I would like to thank the team Learn and Build, who has provided this wonderful opportunity to the learners and to us as well for sharing our insights. So it is very overwhelming to see like all the other speakers from top companies sharing their experiences and guiding the audience in the best possible way. I'm sure that I'll also gain some valuable insights and takeaways from this session. So like without making much delay, so let me start with my introduction. So my name is Vishal Sharma, and I'm a data scientist by profession with a focus on natural language processing. So if I tell you about my experience, so overall, I have more than 3 years of experience in this field of data science and NLP. So right now, I'm working for the company Credgenics, which is a fintech company. And I've been working on natural language processing and speech recognition side of the things in this fintech domain. So basically in this career breakthrough workshop today, I'm going to speak on a very famous topic that bothers the students a lot in their career. And that is, does college or branch matters to get placed in the top giant companies? So like ask yourself about the question of whether the college you attend or the specific field of study you choose really matters when it comes to getting hired in the top companies. Well, like there's a question that I'm sure many of you have asked yourself at one point or the another, and it's definitely something that is worth considering as you make so many decisions about your education and career. So, well, the truth is that the college you go and the specific branch of study you choose can be important factors in terms of your job prospects and the opportunities available to you after graduation. But see, also remember that these are not the only factors that determine your success in your career, because there are a lot of people out there who have become successful even if they didn't go to the best colleges or study the most popular subjects. So what really matters is how hard you work and how much you try to learn and grow. So that being said, there are some colleges like that are known for producing successful graduates and have connections to top companies, which can make it easier for their students to get hired by these companies. And sometimes certain subjects are in more demand by certain companies, like computer science, engineering these days. So studying those subjects can give you an advantage. But even if you don't go to a super fancy college or study a really popular subject, you can still work hard and learn a lot of valuable skills and experience that will help you get hired in the good companies. So don't worry too much about what college you go to or what you study. Just focus on doing your best and you'll be able to create your own opportunities. So like I would say your college and your branch matters, but it does not matter more than 30% of all the factors that contribute to your career. Okay, so rather the important factor that will give you your dream job is your practical knowledge and a good portfolio of yours. So if I talk about my experience, I was also an engineering student like you. I did my BTech in computer science and engineering. So till my second year of my BTech, I didn't know anything. I had nothing to write in my resume. So this situation usually happens with so many people. So I was in the same boat at that time. So after the second year of my engineering, I realized that I have wasted my 2 years of engineering. So now at least I should start something. So I started with the basics of programming and data structures. Then I somehow enrolled myself in a course, in a very basic course of Python. So that course at that time gave me sufficient background about Python, and I started writing small code snippets. And eventually, I was able to understand the logic and the codes that were required in any algorithm. So after finishing my course, I just did not stop myself. I read so many different books on Python, as well as I made my fundamentals so strong. Because if you are going to enter into any of the field, whether it is web development, whether it is data science or cloud computing, the key required to excel in each of these fields is the understanding the basics or understanding the fundamentals. So for me, Python was a strong fundamental for getting into data science. Then after this Python course, I started a machine learning course, where again I got to learn about different algorithms, some basics about writing your own AI. So based on these fundamentals, I got my first internship in data science only, where I worked on a good use case of computer vision and image processing. But the thing was, people scared me a lot by saying, hey, why are you choosing this particular field of data science? There are no jobs for freshers. So something always kept on rolling in my head. Like I used to think, what if I didn't get a job in this field? I would probably need to change my field. But luckily, after trying a lot, I got my first job as a big data engineer, not in data science. So I didn't have much idea about big data at that time, because I only knew about data science and machine learning. So when I actually joined the company, I made my portfolio so strong by adding all the cool projects in my resume. I made my resume such that at first look, you cannot reject it, to be honest, because I had so many things to write in it. And all those things I achieved within a year of 1 year or 1.5 years. So I wrote about the trainings and their learnings, about the internships, and so many cool projects. So I hardly worked for a month as a big data engineer. I just applied internally in my company for a role in data science. So again, they shortlisted my resume and I went through different interviews, and finally I made it possible. They selected me for the role of data science. So my point is, projects and practical learning, practical experience helped me to get the job that I wanted, irrespective of the college I went to or the branch I studied. So the thing is, in most of the cases, like good colleges are like shortcuts to your career. So if you have taken this shortcut at the right time, then it is well and good. But what if you have missed this shortcut in your life? Still, like we can reach our destination, we can succeed in our career. The only difference is, instead of taking a shorter route, we need to take a slightly longer route to reach our destination or to succeed in our career. So this slightly longer route demands a little consistency in terms of learnings, practical knowledge, and a lot of practice, of course. So since most of you might be pursuing your engineering right now, so I would say like this is the right time when you all can work on yourself. So speaking from the experience so far, there's nothing much that you need to do. You only need to be consistent for some time in order to prepare yourself, in order to work on yourself. So there are a few areas where you can work or improve your learnings. So basically, I consider that there are 5 things that you need to work on, or that you need to showcase as a skill, as a part of your skills, basically. So these five things that I mentioned. So these includes, the first thing is fundamentals or your basics. Okay, then comes your practical knowledge, then your projects, after that internships, and at the last your academics. So in a nutshell, I usually give a weightage of say 50% to the projects and the practical learnings. Then I think 30% goes to your internships that you do, and the rest 20% goes to your academics. So try to remember this thing and be more inclined towards the projects and practical applications of your learning. After that, once you do mastery in all these things, try to create your portfolio so strong, because your portfolio or your resume will be the first impression to any recruiter. So basically, it will be the thing, your portfolio will be the thing using which you will be able to sell yourself. Okay, so this is very important. And after that, there is one more skill, basically non-technical skill that people neglect a lot. That is your communication skills. So you need to focus, you need to do a lot of practice on your communication skills in order to express what you think about anything, or how you are going to communicate even after getting a job. So this is something that you should start very early in your college days, because it requires a lot of practice. Also, one more thing I would like to mention. So if you are struggling to get a job or a job in a particular field of your interest, so instead of regretting the choice of the branch or the college you picked earlier, try to gain more and more expertise on any specific tool or technology, and try to make your portfolio very strong. Try to make your LinkedIn profile quite impressive. Be more active on LinkedIn and make more and more connections. One thing you can do is you can always reach out to the senior people on the LinkedIn who are working in different companies and ask them for a referral. Also try to send some cold emails, some cold messages saying that, hey, I'm a fresher, just starting my career in this particular field. Try to ask them for any openings or the referrals they can give. So if you send, say, 10 such messages to 10 different people on LinkedIn, then maybe around 50% of them will reply to you. And there must be 1 or 2 people who would actually help you by giving a referral in their company. So like, do not hesitate asking for the referrals, and always try to reach out whenever required. So basically, like, this is it that I had to share today with all of you. If you have any questions or queries, I'll be happy to answer.
Yeah, so Vishal, one very important thing that I have just extracted it out from your speech is somehow पहली अगर ट्रेन मिस हो गई है तो कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, दैट वाज मे बी अ गुड कॉलेज और टियर 1 कॉलेज, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, दूसरी ट्रेन आएगी, लेकिन हमें प्रिपेयर तो रहना ही पड़ेगा. So the kind of percentage that you have made through 50%, 30%, 20% all together, maybe for projects, internship, and somehow for the academics, so that could help out and inspire many learners here, those who are coming from tier 2, tier 3 category of colleges also. I'm sure that will help out understanding them whether where exactly they should start on and where exactly they should focus. And you also mentioned about one of the key aspect or pointer that to network. So
Correct.
So everybody should start networking right from their college days itself, which will eventually make it big after a moment. So thank you so much, Vishal, for taking out some time. And of course there are some questions, but we are running out some time, so we'll have some more chances to interact with the students in future also. Thank you so much for taking out time and speaking upon such great topic. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, and good luck for your career, for all the learners. Yeah, thank you.
So we have our next speaker. He is very renowned, and I mean, nobody can just skip out. Let me just give me a moment, please. Hi, Harsh.
Yeah, hi Saurabh, how are you doing?
I'm absolutely fine. How about you? Means seeing you all across, traveling here and there, man, it's amazing. With busy schedule of yours, even though doing such great job, it's amazing. Helping out student all across India, and every time active. Amazing to see you. So who I mean, those who don't know about Arsh, I'm sure everybody does. So he is one great personality, working with Samsung along the side, traveling all across India, meeting with, folks, college students, helping them out, understanding whether what should be the career path, clearing their doubts. Having 100 plus 100,000 followers on LinkedIn and Instagram, man, you are one big famous personality all across India right now, along the youth side, right? So you have a great time to discuss upon DSA, discuss upon the things that somebody should start focusing upon right from their college days, and at least to get the core jobs. Yeah, please go ahead. Thank you so much.
Sure, Saurabh. Thank you so much for a great introduction. So yeah, I don't like to speak myself. I want to interact with students. So if like the session format will keep it like I'll talk in the start about DSA system design, how it is important, and what exactly should be a student's approach, and what is the company's approach when it comes to DSA and system design. But I want to like have, if there are any questions from the students who are watching it right now, so that we can take it up at in the second section, right? So this is something that I want. So just to give you a brief about me, I am currently working as a senior software engineer at Samsung. Apart from that, I create content across multiple channels, be it YouTube, Instagram, and LinkedIn. The type of content that I create is more specific to college students. How can this horrible terms of placements and internships, that phase that everyone goes through, right? How can that be more simplified? And when people are pre-prepared for that phase, things are a little easier for them, right? So if you start doing things early, you get the results early. We often talk about we often compare IITs with other colleges. People say in IITs, all big companies come, it's very easy for them to get a placement of 40 lakhs, 50 lakhs, but they have struggled so hard, right? They've struggled so hard in their class 11th and 12th. So they started early and they're getting the fruits right now. So in college also, it's the same thing. If you'll start early, you'll get the fruits early, and rest of your life is going to be more simpler. So we need to understand that notion that everybody, like, we can't escape hard work. Hard work is very, very necessary. You, at some point of time, you will have to do it, be it now. Like, even if you don't do in your college, you pass out from your college, maybe after 5 years you are out of your college, then you will have to struggle hard. So why not do it at the right time and at the earliest possible, so the rest of the things become simpler and easier for you. So with this notion, let's just deep dive into a brief of data structural algorithms. Like, this is the subject that everyone is more tensed about, and this, like, it's something that I come across the most questions about. Why data structural algorithms? Like, why do we actually need to study data structural algorithms? Even if you're not working on any project in company, like, nobody's actually using data structural algorithms once they go into the company. But why companies ask data structural algorithms, right? There are multiple different platforms. There are thousands of questions on Lead Code. There are thousands of questions on Geeks for Geeks. So it takes time to solve every single problem, right? You need to have that approach. You need to have that understanding. So that is something that is very, very necessary. And students try to escape from that. No, I don't want to do this. I'll go for this. I'll go for blockchain. I'll go for machine learning. I'll go for ARVL. I'll go for so and so technology. Any new technology comes into picture, everybody runs behind that, forgetting those fundamentals which are very, very necessary. So the core idea behind, let's say if I am interviewing a fresher, what I expect from him is, I expect his fundamentals should be all right. If his fundamentals are good, then I can teach him anything at any point of time, right? There's no use, like, why should I ask him a question on blockchain? Why should I ask him a question on augmented reality, virtual reality? That is something that would be biased. Maybe some of you know, some of you don't know, some of you might have done, you might be knowing. But if your fundamentals of coding are strong, then you can learn and adapt to any technology very, very quickly. Let's say if I bring you on the basis of good data structural algorithms, I know if I teach this person, I'll provide him with some sessions, with some projects on, let's say, any new technology, so he'll be able to adapt to it. So that's the idea behind data structural algorithms. Let's try to understand why this data structural algorithm things come into picture. Company visits your campus, right? Maybe there's an on-campus drive, or there's something known as off-campus drive. So a company visits your campus. So what they try to do is, like, they try to find out smart people. They want to have smart people. Everybody wants good people if they're paying you something. So they want to get the best candidate out there, right? So now, how to judge that smart candidate? So there can be multiple different ways. You can see there are good projects that the candidate has built. There's something, a good portfolio that the candidate has built. He has a very good resume. But when you talk about product-based companies, when you talk about Google, when you talk about Microsoft, when you talk about Amazon, so for them, what it takes to assess a good candidate is his problem solving skills. How will you judge somebody smart or not? Through his problem solving skills, like whether he's able to solve this particular problem in the least time possible while taking the least memory. So if you're able to give me that solution, you are in, right? So that your smartness is judged on the basis of how quickly you are able to understand a problem, your thought process behind the same, how it works, and how you're finally able to come up with an output. So this entire formulation is something that I would expect from a candidate who is sitting for a fresher software engineering interview, right? So this is the idea behind data structural algorithms, why data structural algorithms is asked, and why it is very important for all of us to learn it. And let me give you a very simple example. Like, it's not about just learning data structural algorithms, right? You tend to use data structural algorithms in multiple different scenarios throughout your office. Like when you join a corporate company also, like in your company also, you might be working upon, let's say XYZ, somebody is working upon backend, someone is working upon front end. You might be working upon some algorithm, somebody is working in embedded, somebody is working in different fields, right? In those fields also, like if you have a good hands-on over data structural algorithms, you will be able to solve that problem. You will be able to understand it well, ki how to take that up, how to take any new problem up. Because let's say in a company, every single day we find multiple bugs, we find multiple different things that are not going in line. What is the task of a software engineer? So they expect you to correct what is not happening right. Let's say there's a bug in production, there's a bug in the app that is coming. So the next day the meeting discussion would be, this is the bug and we need to identify the bug. So who can identify the bug? Who would have browsed through a lot of code? So how you get that experience of browsing through a lot of code when you actually start learning to code, right? So this data structural algorithms is something that is very important when you talk about how to start with data structural algorithms, right? Tons of resources are there on multiple different platforms. Somebody who's like to, let's say, who wants to read from books, so there are books available. There's a book known as Narasimha Karumanchi. So that book is something that will help you clear the basics and fundamentals of data structural algorithms. So if somebody likes to read from book, you can go through that. Then when you talk about somebody likes to read blogs, right? So then there are websites like Geeks for Geeks, so there are websites like Lead Code, where you will find all articles, well curated articles of every topic that is asked in data structural algorithms. So that if somebody is preferring reading those articles, so you can check out from there. Then you talk about free content. A lot of free content is available now. When we were studying at our times, things were not that simpler. We didn't know what to do, how to do, and resources were also very limited. But now if I talk about any single question you pick up, any topic, any question you pick up, you just need to copy paste that title of that question, put it on YouTube. There'll be 3-4 people explaining that same solution in your native language, in Hindi, in English, all options are available for you. So the things have become easier. Now the intention behind this should be how you are able to take up things. Everything is available. I would say there's over information, but you need to pick up what is good for you and how can you utilize that information to your good, right? If you have aimed at becoming a software engineer, you need to work hard. It's not a game of a night before exam that you'll say that I'll go through all this and I'll sit for the interview and I'll clear it. No, this doesn't happen this way. It's a process of 4 to 6 months at least. But if somebody would say ki how much time would you take to learn data structural algorithm, I would say ideally it's 4 to 6 months. Maybe for someone it can be 8 months, or for someone it can be 1 year. But ideal time is at least you need to give 4 to 6 months. People start learning data structural algorithm, let's say first month. So things are very easy, right? In the beginning, you start learning how to put a value in a variable, how to write for loops, while loops, how to print those patterns. So things are easier, right? You come across a stage when you start solving unknown problems. At that point of time, you realize, yeah, this is something that is not my cup of tea. I won't be able to do that. So then you see ki, nahin, coding is not for me. I'll go for something else. So from there, your downfall happens. But it's the idea behind this should be like that stage comes into everybody's life. Like nobody's a born genius or nobody knows everything well. So everyone faces that situation where you feel like you're blank. You spend 2 hours, 3 hours on a single question and you're not able to get the answer. But you need to, like, you should not resist. But even if you're able to solve one question per day at that point of time when you are in that phase, so you will be able to make it up. It doesn't work like I solve 10 questions on 1st of January, then I skip the entire month, and then on 30th January I solve 10 more questions. No, that won't make your consistency. Like coding doesn't work this way. So you need to gradually take up things. Even a single question a day would help, right? I would say ideally, let's say 2-3 questions. If you'll keep on doing all across your second year, third year, 2-3 questions only, like let's say even if you give 1.5 hours to 2 hours, that's more than enough for anything. Once you get that job, once you get that internship that you are aiming at, after that, you will have a lot of time to explore. I have a good chance of getting a PPO. There's a lot of time. Your third year, final year is going to be free, entirely free. You don't need to do anything. If you get an internship in the start of start of your 5th semester, like those who will be moving to your third year, right? For them, companies will start coming up in the months of July, August. So your thing is going to be sorted in July, August only, if you get a 2 months internship. For somebody who is like looking out for a placement, who is currently in his third year, who will be going to 4th year, for them, things would be like your placement season will start across along July, August again. So you start getting companies on campus, off campus as well. So that's the best time when like you should prepare for that best time. Like even if you like this is also a very common question. I didn't get an internship, like would I get a placement? So that's not at all interlinked. Yes, I would say if you have done an internship, that's definitely a plus point, but that won't hamper your placement. Even if you haven't got an internship till now, make sure you get that best placement, prepare for that placement, forget about internship as of now, learn skills and try to work upon those. So that's basically the idea behind data structural algorithms, what all people face. When I come to system design, right? System design is also something that very, very recently companies have started asking. Let's say when I talk about system design, so it's not that HLD that companies ask. For you, let's say, I believe in this session, most people are freshers, right? Who might be in college or who might have just graduated. So for you people, I don't think there'll be any rounds of HLD. Mostly people the companies would come across maybe a round for LLD. When I say LLD, it's low level design. So you've studied object-oriented programming in your college. So in your object-oriented programming, you build classes, you build objects, right? So how can you do that for a complete system? Let's say if I ask you to design a ride-sharing app. When I say ride-sharing app like Uber or a quick ride, where you can carpool with a group of your friends, and you need to build that complete architecture. So low-level design of this would be you build all these classes, like from where to start, where to end. The journey would like if somebody can join us from between, how many people are sharing, then how is the fare calculated? So all these functions, different functionalities, how can you put them into different classes? So that's basically low level design. It's a hybrid term, but yeah, if you are good with object oriented programming, you can definitely ace this round. And I would say 80% companies don't ask system design. Only the top 20% companies would ask system design from a fresher. You will see, let's say there's a round of system design in Microsoft's interview. There's a round of system design in Atlassian's interview, right? Very, very few companies. Mostly the interview process will be based upon data structural algorithms. System design, yes, it will be a part, but not the entire thing that you should come across. So basically, the overall, if I talk about the viewpoint from how you should take ahead the opportunity is, first thing, 60 to 70% of your entire process, starting from the online assessment to the interviews, is going to be data structural algorithms. After that, the leftover 30%, it can include your projects. Let's say you have built some projects in your college or during your internships. Then 10 to 20% would include your computer science fundamentals. When I say computer science fundamentals, in your computer science degree, you study around 30 to 40 subjects. Now those 30 to 40 subjects is something that nobody can remember or nobody can understand. So from those 30 and 40 subjects, there are only 3 to 4 subjects that are important that companies ask. When I say 3 to 4 subjects, we need to make sure whenever these subjects come into your curriculum also, you study them well. You'll get a good CGPA in those subjects also. Plus you are anyways preparing for your placement. These subjects are like computer networks. There are companies asking computer networks. The subject known as database management system, if you've heard of DBMS. Then there's object-oriented programming and operating system. So these are the 4 major subjects apart from data structural algorithms that you should focus upon whenever these subjects you are studying for your college exams also. Even if you study well for your college exams for these subjects, I believe your placement preparation is also done, because they don't expect you to be very, very good at these subjects. Yes, you should have an understanding, to the point that you should know things. Even if like somebody asks you about deadlock, right? How a deadlock happens, or somebody asks you about scheduling algorithms, which all scheduling algorithms are there, and how will you implement a particular scheduling algorithm at some point of time. So that's something that every college exams we need to study for. So if you're good with that, your computer science fundamentals preparation will be there. And literally just imagine there are companies having a separate round only for computer science fundamentals. If you talk about there's a company known as D-Shaw, right? So it has a separate round where they focus more upon computer science fundamentals. Intuit also focus more upon computer science fundamentals. So you need to understand why this is important, and the entire interview process is based upon this. So overall, I believe this should make you clear what all things to do and how to do. Over to you, Saurabh, if we have any questions, anything for from the students.
Yeah, definitely. There are a couple of questions, and even you have, I mean, you are a best stealer of, mind. You might have stolen, mind of, students. Basically, the questions that you have already picked up. So you have already answered a couple of questions. Yes, and one thing which you have rightly said about the journey, that everybody is in their own time zone. तो किसी ने पहले स्टार्ट कर लिया तो पहले उसको कुछ मिल गया है, और somebody who is starting today definitely need to wait for some time, having patience and go through with the same journey. Comparing ये है कि मैं आज यहाँ खड़ा हूँ और जिसको सक्सेस मिल गई मैं उससे कंपेयर कर रहा हूँ, which is not true. So very very rightly said. So we have some questions, of course, Arsh. So one thing which I would like to ask, the same thing, that Chat GPT will take over the programmers. What do you say?
See, I also recently came across it, and like I was trying to check out things, how it works, and how it exactly how like will it actually be able to replace our job. So the overall answer is no. Definitely that the product is very good. It has been trained with a lot of algorithms, and you get to see whatsoever you put it in, right? But anyways, human intervention is required. I was trying a question on Chat GPT. Let's say if I try to interview Chat GPT with a level of lead code hard problem. So I gave that same question. So it gave me with a code. So I tried running that same exact code. So it was not able to pass those test cases, like 3-4 edge cases were left. And I asked it, like there are 3-4 edge cases left, what to do? So the same story, like it was not able to understand what I was asking. So the same thing happens when you are into software engineering, right? I agree, there might be some support roles or something that can be automated, that can be done by ChatGPT. But overall, if you're a good software engineer, you are working on your skills, nobody can replace you at all. You will have high demand in market, you will have high growth in market. So don't need to worry about and think about what ChatGPT is doing. Yes, it's a good product. We can use it at some point of time if we need for anything like particular, like students are using it for writing their assignments nowadays. So that's a use case that can be done, but don't think about that it would replace software engineers in large. This is my viewpoint. So
you gave a hack basically for a student to prepare their assignments also now.
Yeah, that is something that I heard, that students are doing their assignment, type it down. Like we used to think like earlier, there's something known as plagiarism check, right? So we need to, if there's some theoretical assignment also, we need to write it on our own so that we are saved from that plagiarism check. Now that thing is also solved through this Chat GPT. And like when we search something on Google, right, we need to open multiple tabs and search from multiple sources, but you can get, like, you can save up on time and you can get a consolidated answer from ChatGPT. That's something that is useful.
One thing which also bother to the student is whether, they're coming from tier 2, tier 3 colleges, and still, they're improving their communication skills. So how how much this communication skill, maybe the fluency in any particular language, maybe especially in English, matters at the time of interviews, either getting through the internship or maybe the jobs?
See, what I would say is, if you like when I'm a software engineer, if I'm an individual contributor, I just need to work upon the type of code that have been given to me. Even if I don't know how to speak well verse in English, I'll be able to do and deliver the type of work, right? But the thing is, when you're not good at communicating, right, so you might not be able to present things well. Even if you, let's say you're in an interview setup, you have been asked a question, you know the question very well. You know 3-4 approaches to that question, the best time complexity, best space complexity. But the thing is, you are not able to convey that to the interviewer.
Right.
So that hinders, like, I won't be impressed by you, let's say, if you're not able to tell me what the problem is. Like, you're confused, you're in a confused state just because you don't have that hold over language. So that at some point of time lowers your confidence. Am I speaking right or not? You think before speaking, you think upon the words, that like whether this is the right sentence or whether this is the right verb or something that I'm using. And in between that, the beauty of your answer is lost.
Right.
So that is something that might be impactful for you. Like, that might be a negative point. But overall, like, within the company also, it's always good to have, right? I know there are people from backgrounds who have done the graduation, or who have done their this class 10th and 12th from the local native medium, right? Hindi medium, or I meet a lot of people, right? So for them, it's difficult to understand things and difficult to cope up things. But if you have decided you want to get into software engineering, right, so you need to work upon that, because not now, let's say not today, after 5 years or after 10 years, you will be at a position where you will be going to companies, like you will be at a manager level, you will be assigning tasks to your colleagues, you will be getting into business meetings, right? So at that point of time, you need to converse, right? So why not do that? And it's not like you just go ahead and read a book of English vocabulary and you will be good with that. No, that doesn't work like that. It's how many opportunities you can grab. Let's say there's an event going on in your college. You go ahead on stage and you get an opportunity to speak in front of multiple people. So that gives you a confidence to that, yes, I can communicate well. So take those opportunities. Start from the very beginning. Let's say in your class, you get a chance to speak something, or you get a chance to give a presentation on some topic. There are only 50 people or 60 people. If you're able to present it before them, so that confidence level builds up. Once that confidence level builds up, you will, like, the process will become more easier. So overall, I would say ki, as far as you are able to explain me the code, I will take you for the company. Like, I'll select you for the interview. And it's not like like, interviewers are flexible. If you know things, if you can explain it to me in Hindi also, some of the interviews will accept it. Yes, student knows, काम कर देगा, तो कोई ऐसी problem नहीं है. But maybe there'll be some stereotype in somebody's mind ki nahi yaar, I want to keep a candidate who knows English. But yes, English is a good to have, and you can improve it by taking on multiple opportunities. I would say college life is the best time in which you can improve. Once you are into corporate, like, the opportunities are very limited. In your college life, there are multiple opportunities, fests, there are conferences, there are college presentations, everything and anything. That's the best thing where you can improve upon your communication skills.
राइट. तो सबसे पहले कम्युनिकेशन के लिए तो लोगों को शर्म छोड़नी पड़ेगी. अगर वो नहीं होगी तो शायद they'll start getting out things. So I have a few more questions, Arsh, but we are running out of time. So we have one more speaker, so she's getting late. Right. So definitely would have more amount of time next time, and have discussion upon many big topics that you all always usually speak. And taking out your time in this busy schedule of yours. Thank you so much, Arsh. I will have more talks offline also. Thank you.
Thank you, Saurabh. Thank you so much. See you. Bye.
Thank you. So guys, first of all, so I have asked one particular question in the chat box. So let me just answer and announce the name of the winner of that particular quiz. Just give me a moment. So I'm writing out the name of the winner of the last quiz. So his name is Lingesh Jairam. So the question has been asked, and many people have answered it out. So he was quite correct and quite fast. I'll be asking more questions, and hopefully answering them would be giving you a lot of maybe chance to get internships and gifts and a lot of other things. So we have next speaker. Shweta Sahitya. So she has a great profile. Rather than waiting out more time and spending more time about explaining so much about her, she's there. So Shweta, the stage is yours, and you have a great topic to explain. The entire roadmap of data structure algorithm, how one should start their journey with data structures, and before data structure, what exactly somebody should know before, and how the journey would be, basically how difficult this journey would be, and what all one should understand or keep in mind going through with the journey with DSA, or preparing for DSA, right? So stage is yours. Thank you so much for taking time and coming out for speaking out on this platform.
Yeah, thank you so much, Sarah, for this. I'm really glad to attend this audience. So, firstly, let me ask you one question. Who would want to have Porsche or Mercedes standing right out of your door? Every one of us, right? So I would say DSA is the key for that. If you have a DSA in your pocket, you have everything with you, right? So, because I'm given a topic that, okay, what will be your roadmap to DSA, I'll speak about what is data structures and all this, right? So if we say we are talking about DSA, or set up a right platform that, okay, you need to study and you need to put on your 100% in your college itself, if you start soon, the better. But what do you think, is DSA difficult? I would say no. If you have the spirit, DSA is not at all difficult. The prerequisite is you should have one language which also maybe Python, Java, C, C++. Any language you pick up, you're good with it. Start with DSA right away. Now, what is data structures? So, do you organize your clothes or your books, or maybe how you keep your bookshelf? You organize that, right? Then why don't we do the same thing with data? You need data organized, and that's where data structures comes into the picture. They organize in different ways, right? There are multiple ways to do it. And when you say you study data structures and algorithms, it is just for interviews, it's not. I have almost like a decade of experience tutoring, okay? And I have been working with companies, I have worked with multiple firms, and I would say personally, currently I'm working on tree data structures. So it's not that you do not use it. At higher level, yeah, at initial level, you won't. I'm sure for that. But once you reach certain level, then you'll definitely use data structures. So when we talk about what data structures you should study, so firstly, you should always start with arrays and strings, because arrays and strings are like a wide range of topics. You would never end up having the questions with these two things, okay? You know, LeetCode is one platform that everyone goes to, but I would say do not start with LeetCode. That might hamper your spirit. Start with HackerRank or start with some that is kind of a low level to get you started, to get you the base that you want to start off with. Then once you have the base, then you go to the LeetCode, and then you start questions from arrays, strings. Okay. Talking about algorithms a bit. Algorithms is like, suppose, how do you make a tea? It's pre-decided, right? Like all of us know the steps for that. Similarly, for algorithms, some programmers like you and myself, they kind of came up with the structures. Okay, these are the particular steps that should be followed, and this will be the outcomes of that. That's the algorithms. It's pretty simple if you try to understand it. Okay? So when you have algorithms, it's just simplified version of some program that has been predefined. That's it. It's nothing fancy, nothing very tricky. It's pretty simple. Now, talking about once you have arrays and strings with your specific, then there are multiple data structures like stacks, queues, trees. These are non-linear data structures that you should proceed with. So once you have, let's say I would say, set up a target for yourself. Let's say you have an hour, and I pick up two questions starting from, let's say, LeetCode. Very easy questions. Pick up easy questions, then you target for companies you are actually targeting for. Let's say you're targeting for some really good companies, let's say top tier companies, let's say Google, Microsoft. They do ask from LeetCode. Most of the questions are from LeetCode or maybe related to that. Not exact questions. You won't take exact questions most of the times. Mostly a few things here and there should be good enough. But once you have, I would say, I have seen this. Many people try to understand that, okay, these are the questions that has been asked. These will be repetitively asked. They are asked. But let's say try to understand the question and try to then answer the question. So first and foremost, how you should pick up a question. When you have a question in front of you, so one of my tutors used to say, look at a question so much that you do not miss a single word from it. And that's the key for the data structures question specifically, because sometimes if you miss a single keyword, your question is going wrong for sure. Okay, there is an importance of reading a question, understanding it. So when you are, let's say, I would say data structure solving is more of clear kind of a group person. If you solve it individually, it's not that frequent. If you have a person, pick up that person, solve with him or her, then you'll be more beneficial. Okay, now I'll tell you the steps how you should pick up any question, how you should solve it. First and foremost, read a question carefully. Think about, are there any hidden keywords or are there any specifics that a question is looking for? Once you have that, discuss the approach. And if you're solving individually, think of the approach. Okay, once you have the approach, do not directly jump into the coding. Many people do this, right? Once they have the question, they have the confidence of, okay, I can solve this, directly jump on to the coding. That's very wrong way to do it. Okay. Now, once you have the approach, note down. This is very important because I'll tell you what. Try to experiment with this approach. I'm sure that you'll love it. Okay, once you have the approach decided, you may forget the approach while writing the code. You may miss the edge cases. These are like there are 90% of chances people may forget this, right? So once you have the approach written for yourself, I'm not saying write the entire approach, just write the keywords. Okay, maybe let's say we have an array question. Do not write that, okay, traverse an array, or maybe just proceed with something, this or that. A few important steps should be noted. Once they're noted, once you have them in a sequence, then you start for coding. Because if you start for coding before an approach, that's a very wrong process. You'll miss something or the other thing. So that's the key how I personally approach any code, but even not only data structures and algorithms. Let's say once you join in any of the firms, you are given any task. That's how we do proceed with that. Like once we have the problem, we try to understand the problem, then we try to think of the approach that how this should be implemented, and then we go for the implementation. One more thing from the interview perspective, because the audience we have here is mostly the freshers, the benefit of thinking of the approach is think out loud. By thinking out loud, I mean discuss with the interviewer. If I'm an interviewer, if I'm interviewing you, if you are going on the right path, and if you are missing it by this much, I'll definitely help you out. Because have this in mind, interviewers are not there to reject you. They are there to pick you up. If you have this approach in your mind, they are definitely going to help you. Most of it's not about just which kind of company it is. I have interviewed myself with Google. They do help out. Everyone helps out. If you have the right approach, even if you are going in the wrong direction, they'll ask you that, okay, you are going into the wrong direction, because timing is crucial in interview. Because when you don't discuss and you directly jump into the code, you are wasting your time if you are going into the wrong direction. Right? So rather discuss it and then go for the solution. That will save you a lot of time while practicing, even in the interview, while performing. Okay?
Right.
So this is one major thing. Apart from that, I'll specify like what platforms should you start off with. One is, as I said, HackerRank. HackerRank is one of the good start of the platform. And if you are coding in Java or Python, there is one more that is Coding Bat, CODING, BAT. Coding Bat is very useful platform, but it has limitation of Java and Python only. But it's a good start of the platform. Then, if you are good with these two platforms, if you are comfortable, then go for LeetCode. If you directly jump to the LeetCode, that would be really helpful for you guys. Okay, so because I have kind of crunch of time, so I think I'll try to wrap it up over here. So if you have any questions.
Yeah, definitely. No issues, Shweta. Even taking out time was very important for us to even project the right, strategy, going further for DSA. So one question that, which is very important for every aspect of a learner, that any suggestion, I mean, which programming language that you suggest? This is the first question. And second, in the context is whether if anybody has low academic marks, right? So will it be okay, going on preparing for DSA and aiming for big, organizations?
I think I'm glad that you asked these questions. I wanted to bring this up. So first of all, talking about language, these days hot languages are like Java and Python, because Java is very established language. Number of openings for Java are much more comparatively. Then Python is taking up a lot of markets. I would recommend Java and Python specifically. But if you go with C, C++, there would be number of job openings would be less. But when it comes to product-based companies, they're not concerned about languages. So if you are good in any of the language, you are comfortable in any of the languages, give it a go. I would not say spend more time on languages specifically. Talking about second question, marks or university or so I myself graduated from a tier 3 college. No one will know the name of the college, but I have reached where I can have placed, right? So it's not a college at all. So I was working at Goldman Sachs and I reached there. It was just through DSA. DSA was the key for that. I can tell you that. Okay. So it's not necessary. And I'm a kind of a person who doesn't believe in exams. I would not study for exams. I would just get average marks. I would say my CGPA was like 7 or something. So it is not really all important. It's just, there is a cutoff that you should have like 6.5 or something for a freshers. I think there is some cutoff. So above that, you're good. It's completely okay.
Great. So, I have a lot to say, but you're running off time. So at last, like from all the LNB family side, thank you so much for joining us and taking out some time. And even though with a lot of restrictions, I know personally you're being facing. So please, go ahead and try to just wish our learners if with any small tip that you would like to tell.
Sure. Okay. So one tip if I would have to give is every day solving DSA you'll face, okay, I want to give up. Every day, but never give up. If you want
consistency is the key.
Yes. So if you think you want to give up, just imagine have this one target in your mind. So everyone has this target. So personally, I think most of the people have this target of Porsche or Mercedes. So that's what I pointed out earlier, right? So have one target in your mind. Imagine that. Start with DSA, end with DSA with that imagination. So if you have target in your mind, then it's not easy to give up and you never give up. If you don't give up, you'll reach there for sure.
So one should need to just live up with DSA for some time, and it will be okay for going inside the topics or industries.
Yes, definitely.
So thank you, Sweta. So we'll have more time to discuss more things for preparing some more time on DSA syllabus. Maybe the approach that somebody should go. We'll be trying to print out some documents that will be helpful for the learners also in future. So thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks so much for calling me up. It was really good.
Thank you. So yeah, so guys, we had a lot of sessions from different speakers till now, and surely I'll try to take your questions. And we have the last speaker for today's workshop. So everybody is quite interested getting jobs in XYZ companies. Either getting passed out from college, you'd have only two things in mind, either or maybe three things in mind. Going for post graduation could be the one thing. Second, you could have a very definite thing, getting a good job or decent job or a very great job with top giants. So job could be the second option. Or third, if you have got an idea, maybe you were working on some tech stacks, you were working on some technology, and you got an idea, you try to implementing that idea anyhow, right, through any technology solution. So you'll be having things in mind, betting to start with the startup. So what will be the right time to start, or whether your idea which you have picked up implemented through any technology. How you should basically start it on. So we have the next speaker who has been through in both the modes, who has been into job, and who is a serial entrepreneur, basically founded couple of companies, and has been successful throughout his journey so far, having so much of experience of the industry, working out with a lot of technology, and being a technology guy to getting a job to working with top giants in the world. And he is joining us from UK. So I believe when he joined us for this workshop, maybe the time would be early morning, maybe 5 or 6 o'clock. So with such an enthusiasm, we have our speaker, Mr. Vipul. So we welcome you here. Thank you so much, sir, for taking out time, and I'm sure this explanation, whether a job or entrepreneurship, is going to help a lot of learners here. Thank you so much.
Okay, no, thanks. So thank you so much. So thanks for having me. Sorry, it's early morning here, 7 o'clock, but I'm not too well today, but that's fine. No, thank you so much. So first of all, thanks for having me. So let me quickly, as you mentioned, so started my journey, did the engineering, did the job, started my first, I think, entrepreneur project with the name of Sailor News in 2000, just after 2-3 years of my career, which I ran for 2 years, but technically then I have to wind it off because there was no cash, right? But there's a lot of learnings, right? So what happened after that? Now again, after 20 years in industry, working with Lockheed Martin, Ministry of Defense, working with Capgemini, working with multiple sectors from telecom to banking to everything. Then obviously I started, a couple of software companies which are based in Noida, Gurgaon area, basically. So which is quite interesting. So yeah, so it's very interesting question. You have got three choices, right? So three choices, as you mentioned. Job is straightforward. Carry on doing what you want to do. Second thing is post, graduation studies, and third thing is entrepreneurship. So I think what I learned and what I want to share is I could see a lot of speaker talking about hiring and how to go crack the interviews and things like that. But as a investor, entrepreneur, or owner of a company, we generally tend to look multiple, not only technology skills, but I think the split between aptitude and attitude. So first thing is to keep in mind is what is the attitude and what's the aptitude. So the behavior part, the soft skills part. And I think most of the discussion happened today was more on the technical side, like DSA, Chat GPT, and no, that's not going to replace programmers, certainly not. But it's going to help programmers in a way. So, but again, all of those things. But if you see your entrepreneur journey, I think one should start down the line because it demands a lot of skills, which I can myself say that I didn't have when I graduated or even after a lot of year of experience. So we also talked about networking. Networking is one aspect, but I think you need to have a lot of entrepreneurial skills. Now, if you search online or Google it or whatever, what does it mean technically? So entrepreneur skills, I think key thing everyone did mention is communication skills. Yes, it is important because it's not only your product, because you will be talking to people to sell it. You will be talking to internal stakeholder, external stakeholders. So you need communication. So unless you don't have communication, I think that's very critical. You also need tomorrow, if you are an entrepreneur, you want to hire people. So how do you know which one to hire? So you need a different mindset, thought process, how to build a team. So you need different kind of skills. You also need to know legal, for example. You also need to know contractual. So there are hundreds of things that you know. So one thing I think more importantly is about finance. Just taking a note there, financial management, because when I mentioned that we ran off cash, because if you ask where the biggest startups are happening, the number one country is US. I think second would be India, or third will be India in that terms. But out of the 100% company, like if there are 100 companies being, created every day, 90% will get vanished within 1 to 2 years because it's an aspiration, but practically 90% will just go away. Only 10% will remain for 5 years, and out of that, even 5% will go away. And and they will go away by why? Because either again, lack of cash, they didn't have the right product, they had the right product, they didn't have sales, hundred of things. So I think what I will suggest in this early stages is, first of all, when you're doing interviews, there are a lot of technology bits with a lot of speaker has talked about in my previous, and they're all excellently very good advice. But I think if you don't know an answer, even in technical or a soft skill, just be honest, because I think one thing very important the company looks for is the honesty, right? As simple as this. Um, and try to develop some entrepreneurial skills while you are in job. You know, talk to various teams, not only your team player. You know, or I know you're an individual contributor, but you have there's nothing will take you to talk to people in other teams what they are doing. So you build that network. Virtual network building and being in front of a person is totally different ballgame. So talk to more people within the company wherever you join, whatever you're doing. Have that personal connect is important. So networking is totally one thing that I would suggest to do. Learn to do this entrepreneur skills, which is about taking risk, financial management. Learn about how do the company do budgeting, how do they earn money. Try to understand that part. Spend some couple of years, 2 3 years, and some people are smart. I know some people takes more time. I think I took more time. But what I mean to say is, it's okay. Everyone has their own time to shine. Some people in the CEOs, like they have become CEOs or the owners or a family business in age of 40, 50, 60s. So no one. So there's nothing shortcut, but everyone has their own time. So just wait for that right time. Don't need to rush. Make your own conscious decision. Try to understand. First do the job. I think Learn and Build is a good platform. You will get all this extra edge of learning various small courses. You don't need to do big degrees, but I think the small help is very important. So I think it's a very good example when NASA sent a rocket and they said, what, we didn't, when we want to keep it in a straight line, we just need a little bit of adjustments here and there to make it to reach from A to B. So what you just need is small adjustments. You don't need to do something very big. You don't need to, but you should know what you're trying to do to reach from A to B. And that small adjustment is very key. Do it in your job because that's a free way. It's not causing you money. It's not causing any risk. It's not causing you anything else, but it's helping you learn a lot, and you can experiment those things in a safe environment, right? And which I think so your manager, your boss will all like it, right? So saying, okay, be honest and those kind of things. One more key thing I would suggest is every one of you students, you are unique. Every one of you are important and you bring something. As a company, I know because I have a lot of people working for me, but I think everyone is brings different things. Like we talk about diversity, and one thing that I look forward is, no, I just can't put everyone under same structure to say, oh, they have passed this, then they don't know this. Now that's a mathematical way to calculate. But I think more importantly is when it's diversity, again, it could be male, female diversity, it could be age diversity, it could be, I don't know, different kind of diversities are there where company wants more. But what they're asking, the companies today is asking from a different mindset, diverse mindset, because I can't have every a database designer in my company. No, I need a graphic designer to a programmer to a account. So everyone will come with different background and they will provide different things. So and one thing you also need to think, which is a very good model as a at where you are, is understand that the four parameters, like what you know and what others know, what you don't know but others know, but and what even others don't know and even you don't know. So there are, and then that's where you network and try to understand or try to find out that I think I don't know this few things and nobody knows those things, but now I know those things. So try to learn those things. And I think again, I'm not trying to sell and build, but I did see a lot of interesting courses here which a lot of people don't know, but if they come there, they will learn to read more and understand more about new things which they've not heard before. So I think try to do those on technical side, but also when technical, do more on the soft skills side as well, because if you want to go on that journey. But immediate advice would be, go for a job, do well, try to do your technical stuff good, be honest, give your diverse opinion, and then I think that's a very key message from my side as of now. So I don't want to keep it long. I can keep talking about entrepreneur, but I will be more interested to answer any questions regarding that, to be very honest, because I think dialogue is more better than a monologue, and I think that's where my mind is. And so I think that's from my side, to be very honest, Saurabh. I don't want to drag too much because it's a clear, good advice from my side. Do something in a safe environment, and then when the time comes, move into the right, appropriate entrepreneur thoughts. and do something great which can change the world down the line. Yeah.
Right. So there are a couple of questions for you actually. So
Go ahead.
generally, we usually hear out of 100, startup, 90 would, run away due to n number of reasons. So maybe due to lack of experience or clarity or whatsoever. But what are the key aspect, those 10 people, or what could be the percentage that out of 100 only 10% of them, or later on only 5% of them are getting successful? Because of what reason? So what could be key parameter of their success basically?
Yes. So I think, and that is very important point. So what this one thing very key that people do forget is about business strategy. So what is the strategy? 50% companies, they end up into acquisition mergers basically. So someone will come and buy them out. Okay. So 50% of that 5%, 50% will go in some acquisition. So, but the business owner, the entrepreneur, have a strategy that is my exit. Okay. So at that moment, he will say, you know what, I've done it for 5 years, 10 years. Now I want to exit. Someone will buy me out. I'll get good money and I'm out. I'm going to enjoy my, I don't know, wherever. But that is where they end up it. But what they have is a very clear cut business strategy. And when you say business strategy, it's a very high level term. But if you go inside in detail, so they exactly know how to build, what is their roadmap, what is their scalability, how can they scale, how can they sustain their sustainability. So they have got all those things, parameters in their business strategy. Unless you don't have that, you will be out of business in those you will fall in that 90% quite soon, basically.
Right. So last question, running off time. So last question, job versus entrepreneurship. So which one is better for a fresher to start with?
100% job. Do it in a safe environment, but learn the entrepreneurial skills while in job. Entrepreneurial skills, you can, okay, having those skills in a job, nobody's stopping it. Entrepreneurial doesn't mean that you open a company. No, entrepreneurial skills is something that you can do in a job, like your communication, stakeholder management, financials. Start building that. Try to think how business operates. What are they doing? What are the change they are trying to make in the industry or in people's life. Do all those kind of analysis while you are in job. But once you have enough knowledge and you think, I know what others know in that paradigm, then you can say, you know what, and I have enough money, or I have got some investors and things like that. Then you go into that typical. And again, do when you're doing technical courses on learn and build and other stuff, you can also do small courses on soft skills or board members or finance or how to raise finance, communication, all those kind of things as well. So I think when you are good with that, do that. But to answer in a nutshell, go for a job first, do it in a safe environment, unless you have ample of money, so that's fine. And then you want to
so
try
you
it
are
out.
somebody who is second, third, generation of entrepreneurship, then maybe burning a lot of money can make him learn, or
It's not always the case. Like if you see Dhirubhai Ambani and his both their children were studied abroad, but yeah, they got a hell of a money, right? So, but are they really growing? One of them, yes. What about others? I don't know. But so it's about, I don't want to comment as very personal view for my side. I should not be saying in that open forum, but we need to learn from these examples, right? As simple as this.
Right.
So yeah, so second generation, third generation, yeah, but you need to have that what you call the competency, the inside thing inside you that you can really do it. It's not about you get something in from family and that's it. So again, especially in tech world, I don't think so it will work, because tech is totally a different ball game if you're talking about tech. But yeah, if you have a shop and your father gives to his son and to his grandson, that will carry on, that's fine. But not in the tech world. I don't think so it's going to work that way.
Right. So from your job experience, which one particular advice would you like to give it to maybe the learners that you didn't do, you were maybe you might regret today, or you could do at that particular point of time when you were doing job, and now these people should take it in mind?
Yeah, I think I was trying to okay, so I think one thing I always, when I was like in my early stages, I was saying I'm always right. I was trying to prove it. Always like I go to interview questions. I used to give interviews when I in my early days. I was trying to say, yeah, no, I'm right. I will try to prove myself, and but I think what you're trying to do is you try to manipulate things, but you are not very clear. So if you don't know, just say I don't know, because I think people respect that, because you're not wasting anyone's time, but you're also being honest. I think today I learned that today I know that if I would have been honest, and saying if I don't know and I can, but you need to show the potential that you are the potential candidate. Right now, when I'm doing interviews, I exactly put myself in that shoes and say, okay, you don't know, that's fine, but how fast can you learn? He will say, or she will say, 10 days, I can do this. Try to find. So now the recruiters or the companies, they're trying to find the potential in you. They don't. So like you do a test paper, you that marks is basically at that moment of time the knowledge you have at that particular time. But that doesn't prove that you will have that knowledge after 2 years, because if you don't practice this, you don't use it, you will forget it, as simple as this. So that marking the exam is that moment. So my learning was, oh, I was trying to do few things in the from technical side, but also from the side of proving myself that I'm right, which don't do that. You don't have to. If you're right, yeah, prove it. I'm not saying don't have to do that.
Right.
Be strong and put your point forward. But if you as your previous speaker said, when you're writing an answer, you're saying, oh, I know it's going wrong. So accept it and say, what, I think I can't do this. It's wrong. As simple as this. But show that. But if you given me opportunity, I can do it. Give me 2 days, 1 day, half an hour. Maybe I'll come back tomorrow. Build something on it. So show that eagerness in your interview to say, I'm eager for this job. I am the right candidate. I have the potential. I could not solve it now, but I can solve it down the line. So yeah, so believe in me. So I think that message has to be done in the right way, if that makes
Right.
sense.
Right. So still a couple of questions,
Go for it.
Gul sir, but definitely we'll
Okay,
get
that's
to end
fine.
this as well.
I know you have a time limit there.
Yeah. So thank you so much for taking our time, and still
No,
in morning
absolutely.
6 o'clock that you have just started it up.
Yes, exactly.
So we'll have more chit chat and definitely like to have more sessions.
Absolutely.
And thank you so
Yeah,
much for
sure.
taking more time, sir.
No, thank you so much. Thanks for having me. Yeah.
Yeah. So guys, I have, let me just ask one or two more questions, and with that you'll get more opportunities of internships. Just give me a moment. Yeah. So I'm writing another question of mine. So here we'll be picking up 3 winners of this, quiz question, and it's quite common. Let me just ask the question first, and then let's see whether how many of you will be answering it. So I've just written down this question. You please check it out, and let's see whether who is answering first. It's very common question. In one single message, please try to write down the answer. So you have 2 minutes of time. Like we'll be just waiting for 2 minutes and checking out whether who is answering well. And team Learn and Build, please check it out, the messages, and let us know whether who are these 3 champs who are going to get a lot of opportunities. Who are those winners? Let me see. It's really flooding the messages over there on YouTube. Very good. Great. Rishi Kaur, you can check out this message little on the top. I've just written down this question here. Let's go on this, chat box itself. If you have joined just now, I can write down this question again. I'm repeating this question again, guys. Though everybody of you is going to be benefited in a lot of terms, right? So you all will be getting mail from our side and messages also on the group, right? For all the opportunities, all the things that you will be getting it out at Learn and Build. So you took out a very important time of yours. It was Saturday, and many of you, tried your hands. You woke up in the early in the morning, and with this chilling weather, I'm sure you must have learned very good. You must have learned good things, and I'm sure you'll be applying many of them for the right cause, and you'll be able to improve your confidence and your learnings knowledge exactly in the technological world. So I'll try to summarize the topics that we have covered today, and also somehow the key learning that even for us it was. So initially we have started with the introduction of Learn and Build. Learn and Build is the learning and placement company. We are somehow bridging the gap between the student at the as well as the companies, the kind of right set of skills that you require. And then we have picked up a topic that what could be the pathway to Google, right? So it's not about Google. Even all the companies are requiring some kind of similar set of stages of round of interviews. So there was a person who has taken out this particular thing, Rohit Ranjan, who has explained a bit about his journey so far, kind of work he is doing, the culture he has maintained, and how he has turned his his vacations into the opportunity, and getting the opportunity through Google, and cracked out the interviews also. Right, then we moved on to understanding the importance or the important technologies of near future, where you'll be able to look at for getting good packages. So there Himanshu Mishra, he has taken up that particular topic, talked about a lot of different insights. He has given maybe 4 or 5 a technical round of interviews. Each single interview was of maybe 1.5 hours. Cracking all the interviews was not even possible, right? So he had around the accuracy of 80-85%, and he was able to do that because of the DSA. He has emphasized moreover on DSA. And then every single person who has come next was just talking about where exactly and how exactly should focus upon a few key aspects. So 3 things to comprise the entire workshop today is: one, along the side of consistency and honesty, and doing a job before your entrepreneurship or a startup could be a game changer thing. Grasping knowledge before acquiring knowledge before starting up could be a really game changer for you. So with safe environment, like Vipul sir said, you can experiment a lot of things during your job time itself. So 3 key aspects that I would like to re-emphasize once again. The first one was pick up a right language. So any programming language that you can pick up among either C++, Java, or Python. From my side, because since Shweta Sahitya has also told C++, the companies are quite less, so better to choose Java or Python. So they are futuristic technology, programming languages. Based on these languages, a lot of technologies are getting emerged. So picking up the right programming language. The second would be the DSA. So focus upon DSA much. And the third is tech stack. So any technology which you want to go in, either it could be data science, it could be full stack development, it could be AR, VR, it could be blockchain, any technology, but try to build some projects. So any project that you build in your college days or through any internship. So picking up the opportunity for getting the internship, or maybe any method through which you will be able to at least work on the right projects. So these 3 key aspects could be the game changer for getting out very good opportunities, getting big companies, even though with low marks. Marks would later matter less, and of course your communication also comes handy on the second side. So these three big aspects that you have to focus, that I wanted to summarize for you today, that we have taken around 3 hours of time for this workshop, and it was wonderful event, bringing out so many experts from various different industries, expecting the rightful information from them, and I'm sure that you have understood whatever you have understood today. जो भी आप लोगों ने आज इन सारे टॉपिक से एक्सट्रैक्ट किया है, आप उसको इम्प्लीमेंट करो, और ट्राई टू गेट द अपॉर्चुनिटीज इफ एनी वे लर्न एंड बिल्ड कम अक्रॉस providing you those platform, those opportunity. I'm sure will be happy to work alongside your improvement of knowledge, right? So काफी सारी चीजें जो और भी इंफॉर्मेशन है लर्न एंड बिल्ड की तरफ से, वो आपको कुछ दिनों में उस आपके ग्रुप्स पे, आपकी ईमेल आईडीज पे शेयर होंगी, right? So you'll be getting lot of benefits from learn and build, and I'm sure the knowledge that you have got would be beneficial, benefiting you in many ways, right? So let me just try to see whether how many of you answered, and announce 3 names. So let me just write down 3 things. So just give me a moment. I'm very close. So we have finalized 3 people. I'm just writing out their names. So first is Pratik Kaur, then Swapnil Bhagat, and Ayush Mishra. These 3 people are again the winner of this particular quiz. We'll have more fun, more questions, more quiz, more opportunities in times to come. Stay connected, guys, and let me know whether how have you liked out, how you have felt about this workshop. Should we repeat? Any question, anything that you have in mind, or any other topic that you want us to conduct similar workshops, you please follow our social media pages. Try to follow our LinkedIn page. We used to keep updating couple of activities there, and better you follow the LinkedIn page of Learn and Build, because after this workshop we are going to ask one question there. Because of that only, whoever is going to answer, let me just repeat this thing. So we are going to ask one question on LinkedIn page of Learn and Build. Whoever is going to answer that, whoever will be answering, will count out the attendance of this workshop for those students, right? So although we'll be writing down this thing in the group, and hopefully you all, whatever you have learned, you have spent time throughout this workshop. There were 1,000 plus people who have registered for the workshop, and many of you have turned down to the workshop to understand the things, and must have learned good things. So you have to go to Learn and Build LinkedIn page, and there you have to answer the question. That's it, marking out the attendance. So at last, let me just ask you very last thing and very obvious thing, whether how did you like the program that we have conducted through Learn and Build. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today. Thank you so much, Vipul sir, Learn and Build team, that those who have done a lot of great efforts to put this particular workshop on time, and there were a lot of back end operations things which haven't happened to conduct this particular workshop. So all the people from Learn and Build, the participants, the speakers who have joined us today for this workshop and made it possible anyhow with time schedule, Thank you everyone from my side and Learn and Build family. Thank you so much.